In the vast expanse of the Eurasian steppe, where the horizon stretches endlessly under a sky that shifts from azure blue to fiery orange at dusk, there lived a people whose spirit was as untamed as the winds that swept across their land. They were the Scythians, a nomadic civilization that roamed these grasslands for centuries, leaving behind a legacy etched in the annals of history. Imagine for a moment the sound of hooves thundering against the earth, a symphony of power and grace. The Scythians were master horsemen, their steeds as integral to their identity as the land itself. They were not mere riders, they were warriors who understood the language of the steppe, moving with an elegance that mirrored the wild beauty of their surroundings. Their horses carried them across mountains, rivers and plains, weaving a tapestry of life that was rich with adventure. But who were these enigmatic nomads? They emerged around the 9th century BCE, their origins whispered among the winds, perhaps born from the mingling of various tribes that settled and then spread across the vast grasslands. The Scythians were not just a single tribe, but a constellation of cultures, each contributing to a shared identity that celebrated freedom and mobility. They were fierce and independent, rejecting the sedentary life of farming and instead embracing the open sky, where the only boundaries were those of the horizon. As we journey deeper into their world, we discover that the Scythians were also remarkable artisans. Their craftsmanship was evident in the intricate gold jewelry and elaborate weaponry that adorned their bodies. They believed in the power of beauty, and their art reflected a deep reverence for nature and the creatures that roamed alongside them. Imagine a golden horse's head, its eyes glistening with the promise of strength and freedom, or the delicate filigree of a bracelet that tells tales of the stars and the steppe. Yet, beneath their fierce exterior, lay a complex society that thrived on trade and diplomacy. The Scythians were not just warriors. They were traders and intermediaries, connecting distant cultures through their travels. They exchanged goods with the Greeks, the Persians, and even the Celts, creating a network that spanned continents. Their influence reached far beyond the confines of their grassy homeland, as they shared not only goods, but also ideas, stories, and ways of life. In the heart of their society was a profound spirituality, one that intertwined with the natural world around them. The Scythians believed in the spirits of the earth and sky, honoring them through elaborate rituals and ceremonies. They buried their dead with great reverence, often accompanied by their horses, weapons and treasures, in grand burial mounds known as kurgans. These sacred sites were not just graves, they were gateways to the afterlife, where the deceased could ride into the eternal steppe, forever free. The Scythians' legacy is also steeped in the tales of their encounters with the great powers of the world. They clashed with the mighty Persians, who saw them as a formidable force that could not be easily subdued. The Scythians, with their unmatched horsemanship and guerrilla tactics, became legends in their own right, a thorn in the side of those who sought to conquer them. Their ability to outmaneuver and outsmart their enemies became part of their mythology, a testament to their resilience and cunning. As time passed, the Scythians faced challenges that would eventually lead to their decline. The rise of new empires and the encroachment of settled societies began to alter the landscape of the steppe. Yet, even as their way of life transformed, the spirit of the Scythians endured, echoing through the ages in the tales of the nomads who came after them. Today, we still feel the presence of the Scythians in the rich cultural tapestry of the steppe. Their stories inspire a sense of wonder and adventure, beckoning us to explore the wild places of our own hearts. They remind us of the beauty of freedom, the artistry of life, and the enduring connection between humanity and the earth. So, as we gaze across the sweeping plains and feel the thrill of the wind against our skin, let us remember the Scythians, not merely as a distant memory, but as a living legacy, a testament to the nomadic spirit that continues to roam the world, ever searching for the horizon, ever dreaming of the open sky. In the heart of the vast expanse of the world, where the horizon stretches infinitely and the sky merges with the earth, lies a realm known as the endless grasslands. This is a land woven with the whispers of the wind, where each blade of grass tells a story of ancient tribes, fierce warriors, and a bond with a creature that has shaped the very fabric of their existence: the horse. As dawn breaks over the rolling plains, the first light dances upon the dew-kissed grass, illuminating a world untouched by the chaos of modernity. Here, the air is filled with a symphony of sounds: the gentle rustle of the grass, the distant call of birds, and the rhythmic thud of hooves echoing across the land. This is the homeland of the horse lords, those noble stewards of the equine spirit, whose lives are intricately intertwined with the untamed beauty surrounding them. Imagine a time long ago when vast empires were forged not by iron and stone, but by the strength of a bond between man and beast. The horse lords, as they came to be known, roamed these grasslands with an unparalleled understanding of the land and its secrets. Their lives were defined by the seasons, each cycle heralding a new chapter of survival, celebration, and community. As the sun climbs higher, casting golden rays across the plains, we delve into the daily life of these formidable equestrians. They rise with the sun, their spirits buoyed by the promise of a new day. The rhythm of their existence is marked by the gentle whinnies of their horses, each animal a trusted companion, a source of strength and grace. Together, they traverse the undulating terrain, navigating rivers that weave like silver threads through the green tapestry of the land. The bond between the horse lords and their steeds is forged through time and tradition. From a young age, children learn the ways of the horse, how to read their moods, to understand their needs, and to honor their spirit. It is a dance of mutual respect, where the horse is not merely a beast of burden, but a partner in the journey of life. They share not just the land, but also the warmth of family, the laughter of friendship, and the weight of responsibility. As we venture deeper into this world, we encounter the rituals that define the horse lord's culture. Festivals burst forth in vibrant colors, celebrating the bond with horses through song, dance, and storytelling. The air is electrified with excitement as riders compete, showcasing their skills in feats of agility and speed. These events are not just contests. They are a testament to the harmony between human and horse, a demonstration of trust, skill, and the unbreakable spirit of community. Yet, the endless grasslands are not merely a stage for triumphs. They are a harsh and unforgiving landscape, where survival is a daily struggle. The horse lords have mastered the art of resilience, learning to read the signs of nature, to anticipate storms that can sweep through without warning, and to adapt to the rhythms of the earth. They know that the grasslands can be both a sanctuary and a battleground, a place of peace and a site of conflict, especially as the encroachment of the outside world threatens their way of life. As dusk descends, casting a warm glow across the plains, we witness the horse lords gathered around a flickering fire, their faces illuminated by its warm embrace. They share stories of their ancestors, tales of bravery and honor, of battles fought and won, of love and loss. These narratives are the lifeblood of their culture, passed down through generations, each word a thread weaving the fabric of their identity. In this moment, we realize that the endless grasslands are more than just a physical landscape. They are a living tapestry of history, culture, and spirit. They are a testament to the enduring bond between humanity and nature, a reminder of the strength found in community and tradition. As the stars begin to blanket the sky, the horse lords gaze upwards, their hearts filled with gratitude for the land that has shaped them, the horses that have carried them, and the stories that have defined them. In the silence, amid the symphony of the night, there is an unspoken understanding that their legacy will endure, woven into the very fabric of the grasslands that stretch endlessly toward the horizon. And so we leave the endless grasslands, carrying with us the essence of the horse lords, their spirit of resilience, their reverence for nature, and their unyielding bond with the magnificent creatures that roam beside them. In this land of freedom and grace, the story is far from over. It continues to unfold with each passing day, as vibrant and enduring as the grass that sways beneath the endless sky. In the heart of Eurasia, where the golden grasses sway like waves under a vast, unending sky, lies a world that whispers of ancient heroes and forgotten empires. This is the realm of the steppe, a place that has cradled the rise and fall of civilizations, where the winds carry the echoes of countless stories. Among these tales, one stands out like a beacon of resilience and power, the story of the Scythians, the enigmatic warriors of the Eurasian steppe. Picture, if you will, a time long before the age of written history, a time when the world was still young. The sun rises over the endless horizon, casting a warm golden light on the rolling hills and wide plains. Here, nomadic tribes roamed freely, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of nature. These were not just wanderers, they were the architects of a vibrant culture, a culture that would come to be known as Scythia. The Scythians emerged around the 9th century BCE, their roots deeply embedded in the fertile soil of the steppe. They were a people shaped by their environment, fierce and adaptable, thriving in a landscape that could be as harsh as it was beautiful. Their existence was a dance with the seasons, a delicate balance of survival and celebration. They hunted, gathered, and raised horses, creatures that would become synonymous with their identity. The Scythians were not just riders, they were masters of the equestrian arts, their bond with horses a profound connection that defined their very being. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the sky painted in hues of orange and purple, we find ourselves drawn into the heart of a Scythian encampment. Here, amidst the tents and flickering fires, we can almost hear the laughter of children playing, the rhythmic beating of drums, and the haunting melodies of ancient songs. It's a world alive with spirit and tradition, where stories are passed from one generation to the next, weaving together the fabric of their shared identity. But who were these people really? The Scythians were more than just fierce warriors. They were skilled artisans, traders, and diplomats. Their reach extended far beyond the steppes, connecting them with distant lands. They traded furs, precious metals, and grains, establishing a network of commerce that linked the east and west. In their hands, the raw materials of the steppe transformed into exquisite jewelry and intricate weapons, artful creations that spoke of their craftsmanship and cultural richness. Yet, it was their prowess in battle that would solidify their legacy. The Scythians were feared and respected, their cavalry striking like lightning across the plains. With bows that could shoot arrows with astonishing accuracy, they became the scourge of empires. Their military strategies were both innovative and effective, allowing them to outmaneuver larger forces. It was said that a Scythian warrior could ride down his enemies from horseback, their arrows raining down like a storm, swift and unrelenting. But as the dust settled after each skirmish, the Scythians carved out a life that was not solely defined by warfare. They honored their dead with elaborate burial mounds, known as kurgans, where the fallen were laid to rest alongside treasures and offerings, a testament to their belief in an afterlife. These mounds dotted the steppe, silent sentinels of a time gone by, holding within them the secrets of a civilization that thrived in harmony with the land. As we journey deeper into the origins of Scythia, we discover the complex tapestry of their beliefs and traditions. They worshipped a pantheon of gods, revering deities that embodied the natural world around them. The Scythians believed in the sacredness of the earth, a connection that bound them to their horses, their ancestors, and the very skies overhead. Rituals were woven into the fabric of their daily lives, from the simple act of offering a prayer before a hunt to grand ceremonies that celebrated the changing of the seasons. But the winds of change were always at their backs. As the centuries turned, the Scythians faced new challenges, waves of invaders and shifting alliances that threatened their way of life. Yet, even in the face of adversity, they adapted and evolved, their spirit unyielding. The Scythians became a symbol of resilience, their legacy etched into the annals of history as a people who thrived in the face of adversity. As we draw our tale to a close, let us reflect on the enduring spirit of the Scythians. Their story is not just one of conquest and battle. It is a reminder of the deep connection between people and the land they inhabit. The echoes of their laughter, the sound of hooves thundering across the steppes, and the whispers of ancient wisdom still linger in the winds that sweep across this vast expanse. In the end, the dawn of Scythia is not merely a chapter in history. It is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a reminder that even in the most challenging of landscapes, life can flourish, and stories will always find a way to be told. The legacy of the Scythians lives on, not just in the mounds they left behind, but in the hearts of those who continue to draw inspiration from their extraordinary journey through time. In the annals of military history, there exists a realm where power and grace converge, a world defined by the thundering hooves of majestic steeds and the daring spirits of those who rode them. This is the story of the cavalry, the unsung heroes of the battlefield, who transformed the very fabric of warfare. Welcome to the tale of the masters of the horse and the birth of cavalry warfare. Picture, if you will, a sun-drenched plain where the air is thick with anticipation. The ground trembles beneath the weight of armored warriors, their eyes shining with a fierce determination. They are not just soldiers, they are riders, bound by an unbreakable bond with their horses. In this era, the horse was more than a beast of burden. It was a companion, a partner in the dance of war. Together, they would change the course of history. Our journey begins in the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, where the first stirrings of cavalry began to take shape. Nomadic tribes roamed vast expanses, their survival reliant upon their mastery of the horse. With the invention of the chariot, these early riders discovered the potential of mobility on the battlefield. They could flank their enemies, strike with swiftness, and retreat before the dust settled. It was a revelation, a glimpse into the future of warfare. As empires rose and fell, the art of horsemanship evolved. In the shadow of the great Persian Empire, the cavalry emerged as a formidable force. The Persian horsemen, adorned in vibrant silks and armor, galloped into battle, their presence commanding awe and fear. They wielded bows, lances, and a tenacity that would define their legacy. The battlefield became a canvas, painted with the colors of bravery and skill, as riders engaged in a deadly ballet of strategy and speed. Yet, it was in the heart of the Greco-Roman world that cavalry truly found its voice. The Greeks, with their love for discipline and strategy, began to appreciate the value of mounted troops. They crafted the concept of the companion cavalry, elite riders who fought alongside their infantry, creating a dynamic synergy that could turn the tide of battle. Alexander the Great, a master tactician, understood the potential of cavalry warfare. With his trusted steeds, he swept across continents, carving a path of conquest that would echo through the ages. But the Romans, ever the innovators, took the art of cavalry to new heights. They introduced the concept of the auxiliary cavalry, integrating these mounted warriors into their legions. This fusion of foot and horse created a tactical flexibility that was unmatched. The Roman cavalry, with their discipline and formations, became a symbol of power, a force to be reckoned with on the vast expanses of land they sought to dominate. As we traverse the landscape of history, we arrive at the Middle Ages, a time of knights and chivalry where the cavalry became the pinnacle of martial prowess. Clad in shining armor, knights represented the ideal of nobility and valor, their horses as much a part of their identity as the swords they wielded. In tournaments and battlefields alike, they showcased the art of mounted combat, a spectacle that captivated the hearts of many. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 stands as a testament to the might of cavalry warfare. The Norman knights, charging forth with unyielding ferocity, changed the course of England's destiny. Their horses, like thunderous waves crashing against the shore, broke through the ranks of the Saxon shield wall, ushering in a new era of Norman rule. It was a reminder that, in warfare, speed and shock could prove decisive. Yet, while the age of chivalry reigned supreme, the world was not static. The introduction of firearms began to challenge the dominance of the mounted warrior. The battlefield evolved once more as infantry tactics shifted and the cavalry had to adapt. The horsemen of the Napoleonic Wars, once seen as the pinnacle of cavalry prowess, found themselves navigating a world where mobility and firepower had to coexist. Through all the trials and tribulations, the essence of cavalry endured. It evolved, adapted, and persisted, finding its place in modern warfare. From the cavalry charges of World War I to the reconnaissance units of today, the legacy of the horseman lives on. The bond between rider and steed remains a powerful symbol of courage and loyalty, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to ride into the unknown. As we reflect on the birth of cavalry warfare, we uncover a story woven into the very fabric of our history, a narrative of bravery, resilience, and the intricate dance between man and horse. The masters of the horse, through their valor and skill, forged a legacy that transcends time, reminding us that the spirit of cavalry will forever gallop through the corridors of history, echoing with the sounds of hooves on the battlefield, igniting the fires of inspiration for generations to come. In the vast, windswept steppes of Central Asia, where the horizon kisses the sky and the earth breathes stories of old, a remarkable people once roamed, fearless warriors known as the Scythians. These nomadic horsemen, masters of the open plains, were not just renowned for their fierce temperaments, but also for their unparalleled skill in archery. Today, we delve into the heart of their legacy, exploring the enigmatic allure of the Scythian bow, a weapon that became synonymous with death and glory, the deadly Scythian bow. As dawn broke over the expansive grasslands, the first rays of sunlight would catch the glint of arrows nestled in leather quivers, ready for flight. But these were not ordinary arrows. Each was a testament to the artistry and craftsmanship of the Scythian people. The bow itself, elegantly curved and crafted from layers of wood and sinew, was a marvel of engineering, a perfect fusion of strength and agility. It was a reflection of its wielder, swift, precise, and deadly. Imagine a young Scythian warrior, his heart racing with the thrill of the hunt. With the wind whipping through his hair, he rides atop a nimble steed, the world blurring around him. In a single fluid motion, he draws the bowstring taut, feeling its power hum beneath his fingers. With a keen eye, he focuses on his target, a swift deer bounding gracefully across the plains. And then, in a heartbeat, the arrow is released, slicing through the air with a whisper, finding its mark. This was the essence of the Scythian bow, a weapon forged not just for destruction, but for the very art of survival. But the Scythians were not merely hunters, they were warriors. When the call to battle echoed across the steppes, the Scythian bow transformed into a harbinger of doom. From horseback, these archers could unleash a storm of arrows upon their enemies, each shot a calculated strike that could turn the tide of war. Their agility made them elusive, their skill made them terrifying. The famed historian Herodotus described them as the most formidable archers in the world, a testament to their prowess that would echo through the ages. Yet, the bow was more than a weapon. It was an integral part of Scythian identity. It represented their nomadic lifestyle, their connection to the land, and their symbiotic relationship with nature. The Scythians believed that the spirit of the bow lived within the hunter, guiding his hand and sharpening his aim. It was said that each bow was imbued with the essence of the earth, drawing strength from the very soil upon which they roamed. As we journey deeper into the world of the Scythians, we uncover the rituals and ceremonies that surrounded their archery. The act of drawing the bow was sacred, often accompanied by chants and offerings to the gods. In these moments, the warrior became one with his weapon, transcending the mundane and entering a realm where the earthly and the divine intertwined. The bow was not merely a tool, it was a bridge between worlds, a conduit for bravery and honor. However, the Scythian Empire was not immune to the tides of change. As time flowed like the rivers of their homeland, new powers emerged, and the Scythians faced challenges that tested their resilience. The very bow that had once brought them victory now became a symbol of their decline. As the nomadic lifestyle began to wane and the once open steppes transformed into battlegrounds for emerging civilizations, the Scythians slowly faded from the pages of history. Yet their legacy endures. The deadly Scythian bow has left an indelible mark on the annals of warfare and culture. It has inspired countless generations, its design echoed in the crafting of bows throughout time. Today, when we speak of archery, we pay homage to those fearless warriors of the wind whose skill and artistry captured the essence of an age long gone. As the sun sets over the steppes, casting a golden glow upon the land, we remember the Scythians, not just as warriors, but as artists, visionaries, and guardians of a way of life that thrived on the edge of the wild. Their bows may have fallen silent, but the stories they wove with each arrow still resonate in our hearts, a reminder of the indomitable spirit that once soared across the plains. The archers of the wind may be gone, but their legend lives on, whispering through the grasses and echoing in the winds of time. In the heart of the vast, undulating steppes of Central Asia lies a tale steeped in mystery and adventure, a tale of nomads who roamed the land, leaving behind whispers of their golden treasures buried beneath the earth. As the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, we embark on a journey into the past, uncovering the legendary gold of the nomads. Picture, if you will, the boundless landscapes of Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and beyond. Here the wind sings a haunting melody, carrying with it the stories of ancient tribes who once thrived in these unforgiving terrains. These nomadic people, masters of survival, roamed vast distances, following the rhythm of the seasons and the migration of herds. They lived in harmony with the land, their existence intertwined with the natural world. But what of their treasures? Those shimmering artifacts that sparkled like stars in the night sky. As we delve deeper, we discover that the nomads were not mere wanderers. They were skilled artisans, creating exquisite jewelry and tools from gold and silver, their craftsmanship a blend of artistry and function. They adorned themselves with beautiful pieces, not just for beauty's sake, but as symbols of identity and status. Gold was more than a material. It was a language, a means of storytelling woven into the very fabric of their lives. Among the tales of riches lies the legend of the great Scythians, a nomadic warrior tribe that roamed the steppes centuries ago. Renowned for their fierce battles and unmatched horsemanship, they were also known for their wealth. It is said that their chieftains were buried with unimaginable treasures, golden masks, intricately designed weapons, and lavish ornaments. But as centuries passed, these treasures became lost, their locations shrouded in the mists of time. Yet the earth holds its secrets close, and over the years, intrepid explorers and archaeologists have sought to uncover the hidden treasures beneath the soil. With each excavation, stories emerged, golden artifacts gleaming under the sun, revealing the artistry and beliefs of a civilization long gone. These discoveries not only shed light on the nomadic way of life, but also offered a glimpse into the spiritual beliefs that guided their existence. The most famous of these discoveries occurred in the 1960s, when a team of Soviet archaeologists stumbled upon an ancient burial mound, or kurgan, in the heart of Kazakhstan. Inside, they found a treasure trove of golden artifacts, including ornate horse harnesses, delicate jewelry, and a golden throne fit for a king. This was not merely a cache of riches. It was a time capsule offering insights into the lives, customs, and aspirations of the nomads who once roamed the steppes. As we explore the significance of these treasures, we learn that they served a dual purpose. While the gold was a marker of wealth and power, it was also believed to connect the living with the spiritual realm. The nomads adorned their deceased with these treasures, ensuring they would journey into the afterlife with dignity and honor. In this way, the gold became a bridge between worlds, a testament to their beliefs in life beyond death. Yet, the allure of the gold of the nomads is not just in its material value, it speaks to the very essence of humanity, the desire to create, to express, and to leave a legacy. As we sift through the stories of the past, we find that these treasures are not merely objects, they are symbols of resilience, artistry, and the indomitable spirit of a people who thrived against the odds. Today, as we stand on the very ground that once cradled these nomadic tribes, we are reminded of their legacy. The nomads may have vanished from the pages of history, but their treasures lie beneath our feet, waiting to be rediscovered and to tell their stories once more. The gold of the nomads is a shimmering reminder that, even in a world that constantly changes, the echoes of the past continue to resonate, inviting us to explore, to learn, and to connect with our shared human heritage. So, as the stars twinkle above the steppes, let us remember the nomads, not just as wanderers of the land, but as creators of beauty, bearers of wisdom, and guardians of treasures that remain forever beneath the earth. Their story is our story, woven into the very fabric of history, a testament to the enduring spirit of those who dare to dream, to explore, and to leave a mark on the world. In the heart of the vast, undulating steppe, where the horizon stretches infinitely and the sky meets the earth in an embrace of blue, lies a unique world that thrives in harmony with nature. This is the world of the yurt, a symbol of nomadic life, where the daily rhythms are a tapestry woven from centuries of tradition, resilience, and the pulse of the land. As dawn breaks, the first light spills over the gentle hills, illuminating the circular silhouette of the yurt. This is not merely a structure. It is a home, a sanctuary that encapsulates the essence of a nomadic lifestyle. The scent of wood smoke dances through the air as the family stirs from their slumber. Inside the yurt, a cozy warmth envelops them, the heart of their living space where stories are shared and dreams are nurtured. The day begins with a simple yet profound ritual. The head of the family moves with purpose, tending to the fire that crackles in the stove, its flames flickering like the spirit of their ancestors. As the heat rises, so do the aromas of breakfast, freshly brewed tea, rich with the earthy notes of herbs, and the comforting scent of baked bread, still warm from the oven. Each bite is a reminder of the land's bounty, a connection to the earth beneath their feet. Outside, the steppe awakens in a symphony of sounds. The soft rustle of grass swaying in the wind and the distant call of birds create a melody that accompanies the morning routine. Children burst forth from the yurt, laughter echoing as they chase each other across the wide expanse, their spirits as unbound as the skies above. Here, in this vast playground, they learn the ways of the land, the names of plants, the rhythms of the seasons, and the stories of the stars. As the sun climbs higher, the family sets out to tend to their grazing animals. Horses, the lifeblood of nomadic culture, gallop gracefully across the steppe. Their manes ripple in the wind, a testament to the freedom that defines this life. The family moves in harmony with these majestic creatures, their hands skilled from generations of care. Livestock is not just a source of food, it is a companion, a partner in the dance of survival. Midday brings a moment of respite. The yurt, with its felt walls and wooden framework, offers shelter from the sun's embrace. Inside, the family gathers, sharing stories of the morning's adventures, each tale woven with laughter and lessons learned. Here, time seems to stand still, and the bond between family members strengthens with each shared moment. As the sun begins its descent, casting a golden hue over the steppe, preparations for the evening begin. The air fills with the enticing scent of dinner, mutton sizzling over the fire, accompanied by fresh vegetables from the garden. The family gathers once more, the warmth of the meal echoing the warmth of their connections. Under the vast expanse of the evening sky, they share not only food but also hopes and dreams, their voices resonating with the timeless cadence of the steppe. Night falls, and the stars blanket the sky, twinkling like diamonds scattered across a velvet canvas. The family huddles close, stories of ancestors and legends of the past flow like the gentle breeze outside. Each tale is a thread in the fabric of their identity, reminding them of who they are and where they come from. The yurt, with its central hearth, becomes a beacon of light in the darkness, a vessel of warmth that holds the memories and aspirations of a lineage that has thrived in this land for generations. As sleep beckons, the family retreats to their cozy corners, lulled by the sounds of the steppe, the whisper of the grass, the rustle of night creatures, and the soft sigh of the wind. In this world, life is not defined by the rush of modernity, but by the gentle rhythms of nature, a dance that has been performed for centuries. In the heart of the steppe, life in the yurt is a testament to the enduring spirit of the nomadic people. With each dawn they rise to the call of the land, embracing the simplicity and depth of their existence. Here, amidst the vastness, they find not just a home, but a way of life, a profound connection to the earth, to each other, and to the stories that will echo through time. In the vast expanse of the steppe, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the winds carry whispers of ancient tales, there lies a world steeped in legends and the fierce spirit of its women. This is a story of the Amazons, the legendary warrior women of the steppe who have captivated the imagination of countless generations. As we embark on this journey, we will unravel the woven threads of myth and history, revealing the truth that lies behind these remarkable figures. Imagine, if you will, the rolling hills and grassy plains of Central Asia, a land where the sky meets the earth in a glorious embrace. Here, nomadic tribes roamed freely, their lives entwined with the rhythm of nature. Among them, tales began to emerge of fierce women who defied convention and wielded weapons as deftly as any man. These women, the Amazons, were said to ride into battle, their hair flowing like the wind, their spirits unyielding. Their stories echoed through the ages, a testament to female strength and resilience. But who were these women really? Were they merely figments of imagination, or do they reflect the true spirit of the steppe? Historians and archaeologists have sought answers, unearthing burial mounds and artifacts that tell a different story. The graves of warrior women, adorned with weapons and symbols of power, speak volumes about a society that recognized and honored the prowess of its female members. These findings challenge the narratives of a male-dominated past, revealing a more balanced existence where women were not just caretakers but fierce protectors of their people. As we delve deeper into the lore of the Amazons, we find ourselves at the crossroads of myth and reality. The Greeks, inspired by tales from the East, wove these women into their own legends, depicting them as exotic and formidable foes. Their stories traveled across continents, morphing over time. Yet the essence of the Amazon remains: a woman who refuses to be confined by societal norms. This image resonates deeply, evoking a sense of empowerment that transcends time and culture. In the heart of the steppe, the legacy of these warrior women is not merely a story of the past, but a living testament to the strength of women today. Modern-day nomads and descendants of these legendary figures continue to embody their spirit, navigating the challenges of contemporary life while honoring their heritage. They ride across the plains, their hearts beating in rhythm with the land, a reminder that the fight for equality and recognition is as relevant now as it was centuries ago. As we explore the tales of the Amazons, we also encounter the stories of real women who shaped the history of the steppe. Figures like Tomyris, the legendary queen who led her people into battle against Cyrus the Great, remind us that these women were not just warriors in myth, but leaders in their communities. Their courage and strategic minds challenged the status quo, leaving an indelible mark on history. Through the lens of folklore, we discover that the Amazons were not just warriors clad in armor, but symbols of independence and defiance. They represented the unyielding spirit of women who, against all odds, refused to be silenced or subdued. They rode not only for victory in battle, but for the right to define their own destinies, a message that continues to resonate in the hearts of women around the world today. As we conclude our journey through the steppe, we realize that the legacy of the Amazons is more than just a collection of stories. It is a powerful reminder of the strength that lies within every woman. Their tales inspire us to break barriers and challenge conventions, urging us to embrace our own identities and courageously carve our paths. So, as the sun sets over the vast grasslands, casting a warm golden glow, let us honor the women of the steppe, those legendary Amazons who paved the way for future generations. Their spirit lives on, a testament to the power of womanhood, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between history and myth. In their stories, we find not just warriors, but the essence of what it means to be truly free. In the heart of every culture lies a celebration, a moment when the mundane transforms into the extraordinary. A feast, a gathering where the air is rich with laughter and the aroma of roasted meat mingles with the sweet notes of wine. Welcome to our exploration of feasting and fire, rituals of wine and meat, a journey that transcends time and space, connecting us through the ages to our ancestors who gathered around flickering flames. Picture yourself in an ancient landscape where the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and crimson. The crackling of a fire dances in the air as families and friends come together, their faces illuminated by the golden glow. It is here, at the intersection of earth and sky, that stories are told, bonds are forged, and traditions are born. Feasting has been a time-honored ritual since the dawn of humanity. The act of gathering around a table laden with food is not merely about sustenance. It is a celebration of life itself. In many cultures, the feast signifies abundance, a chance to share the fruits of the harvest and to honor the spirits of nature. As the flames flicker, they remind us of the warmth that exists in community and shared experience. Imagine the rich, tantalizing scent of a whole lamb, marinated and roasted to perfection over an open flame. This is more than just a meal. It is a ritual steeped in tradition. In many cultures, the preparation of meat becomes a sacred act, a way to pay homage to the animals that have given their lives. Each cut is deliberate, each seasoning a whisper of ancient knowledge passed down through generations. The fire crackles, releasing its smoky essence, enveloping the gathering in a sensory embrace. As the evening unfolds, goblets are filled with wine, a drink that has been intertwined with human history for millennia. Wine, with its deep roots in agriculture and culture, is more than a mere beverage. It is a vessel of connection. In biblical texts, it symbolizes joy and celebration, while in ancient Greek symposia, it served as a catalyst for philosophical discourse. Imagine a long table adorned with delectable dishes, laughter echoing through the air as friends and family raise their glasses in unison. "To life!" they exclaim, their voices mingling with the crackle of the fire. Each sip of wine tells a story, a tale of the grapes that were nurtured by the sun, of the hands that tended to the vines, and of the soil that gave them life. It is a reminder of the earth's bounty, an offering of gratitude for the sustenance that nourishes not just the body, but the soul. In the depths of winter, when the world outside is shrouded in frost, communities gather for what is known as the midwinter feast. This celebration, steeped in ancient customs, transforms the cold into warmth. In these moments, the ritual of roasting meat over an open flame takes on a new significance. It becomes a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is light and warmth to be found in community. As the embers of the fire glow brighter, stories of ancestors are shared, tales of bravery, love, and loss. Each generation passes down their wisdom, ensuring that their legacies live on. It is in these moments of shared reflection that the past intertwines with the present, reminding us that we are but threads in the tapestry of our collective history. In various cultures across the globe, the rituals surrounding wine and meat take on unique forms. In the Mediterranean, the feast is a lavish affair, with tables laden with mezza, spices dancing on the palate. In the Andes, llamas are roasted in celebration of the harvest, honoring the earth's gifts. And in Japan, the delicate art of preparing and sharing sushi becomes a ritual of respect and tradition, showcasing the beauty of simplicity. As we delve deeper into these rituals, we uncover the profound significance of fire, a symbol of transformation and purification. In many traditions, the act of cooking over an open flame is believed to infuse the food with spiritual energy. The fire is not just a source of heat, it is a sacred element that connects us to the divine, bridging the gap between the earthly and the ethereal. As the feast winds down and the last remnants of meat are devoured, the laughter transforms into quiet reflection. The fire, now a bed of glowing coals, continues to provide warmth, a reminder of the connection forged through shared meals and stories. The ritual of feasting is not merely a celebration of food, it is a testament to our humanity, our need for connection, and our desire to honor the cycles of life and death. As we close this chapter on feasting and fire, let us carry with us the lessons learned from our ancestors. In a world that often feels fragmented, the rituals of wine and meat remind us of the power of community, the importance of tradition, and the joy of gathering around a table. So let us lift our glasses once more to the fires that have burned brightly through the ages and to the feasts that continue to unite us in celebration, to life, to love, and to the shared stories that connect us all. In the vast, windswept steppes of ancient Eurasia, where the sky met the earth in a seamless horizon, a remarkable people thrived, the Scythians. Nomadic horsemen, skilled archers, and fierce warriors, they roamed the plains from the 9th century BCE to the 1st century BCE, leaving behind a legacy rich in culture, art, and perhaps most intriguingly, spirituality. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the enchanting world of Scythian shamans and the spirits that intertwined with their lives, revealing a religion as vibrant and dynamic as the landscapes they inhabited. Imagine, if you will, a landscape painted in hues of gold and green, where the sound of hooves thunders across the plains. The Scythians, masters of horseback riding, would ride into the sunset, their long hair flowing in the wind, adorned in intricate garments that spoke of their status and beliefs. But beyond their prowess in battle and their nomadic lifestyle lay a profound connection to the spiritual world, a world inhabited by spirits, ancestors, and the eternal forces of nature. At the heart of Scythian spirituality was the shaman, a figure revered and respected, often seen as a bridge between the living and the spirit realm. Shamans were not merely healers or mediators, they were the guardians of Scythian culture, custodians of sacred knowledge, and the conduits through which the divine communicated with the earthly. Clad in robes made from the skins of animals, these mystical practitioners would enter trances, embodying the spirits of their ancestors and the elements of nature. Picture a shaman standing at the edge of a sacred grove, the air thick with anticipation. As she beats her drum, the rhythm reverberates through the very earth, calling upon the spirits of the land. The crackle of fire dances in the background, casting flickering shadows that seem to sway in time with her heartbeat. In this moment, she transcends the boundaries of the physical world, journeying into the realm of the spirits, an ethereal plane where she seeks guidance, healing, and wisdom. The Scythians believed that all elements of nature, the rivers that carved through the earth, the mountains that touched the sky, and the winds that whispered through the grass, were alive with spirit. Each natural phenomenon held a sacred presence, deserving of respect and reverence. To them, the world was not merely a backdrop for their existence, but a living tapestry woven with the threads of spirituality. In their rituals, the Scythians did not shy away from the darker aspects of existence. Death, too, was a part of their spiritual journey. They believed in an afterlife, a continuation of the soul's journey beyond the physical realm. Elaborate burial practices, marked by grand kurgans, mounds of earth where the elite were laid to rest, reflected their understanding of life and death. These tombs were filled with treasures, weapons, and even sacrificed horses, as offerings to ensure a safe passage to the afterlife. As we delve deeper into the heart of Scythian spirituality, we find the enigmatic figure of the spirit horse. For the Scythians, horses were not just companions on their journeys, they were sacred beings, imbued with a spirit of their own. The bond between horse and rider transcended the physical, symbolizing freedom, power, and communion with the divine. It is said that in battle, a Scythian warrior would ride with an almost otherworldly connection to his steed, as if they were one entity guided by the spirits of their ancestors. The Scythians also engaged in elaborate ceremonies to honor their gods and the spirits of nature. These gatherings were vibrant affairs, filled with music, dance, and the intoxicating aroma of feasting. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the flickering flames of bonfires illuminated the faces of the gathered tribes, their hearts united in a shared reverence for the unseen forces that shaped their lives. But as with all great civilizations, the Scythians faced challenges. The encroachment of new peoples and cultures began to threaten their way of life. The Greek historians, such as Herodotus, chronicled their stories, capturing the essence of a people deeply connected to their land and the spiritual realms. Yet, as time marched on, the Scythians began to fade into the annals of history, their once thriving culture evolving and transforming amidst the tides of change. Today, we stand at the crossroads of history, gazing back at the Scythians, a people whose beliefs and practices reverberate through time. Their shamans, the guardians of sacred wisdom, continue to inspire a sense of wonder and connection to the spiritual world. As we traverse the landscapes they once called home, we carry with us the echoes of their rituals, the whispers of their spirits, and the enduring legacy of a culture that understood the profound relationship between the earth and the heavens. In the end, the story of the Scythians is not merely a tale of warriors and nomads, it is a testament to the human spirit's quest for understanding, connection, and the timeless search for meaning in a world filled with mystery. As we reflect on their journey, let us remember that the echoes of their spirituality still resonate within us, urging us to seek our own connection to the spirits that dwell in the world around us. In the heart of the steppes, where the wind carries the whispers of the past, the legacy of the Scythians continues to thrive, reminding us that we are all part of a grand tapestry woven together by the threads of our shared humanity. In the heart of vast, rolling steppes and secluded forests, where the whisper of the wind tells tales of ancient times, lie the burial mounds known as kurgans. These monumental earthworks, rising like gentle hills against the horizon, are more than mere hills. They are silent sentinels of history, guardians of the stories of kings and warriors who once roamed the land. Imagine stepping back in time to a world where powerful chieftains led fierce tribes, where the clang of swords and the thundering of hooves echoed across the plains. In this world, the kurgan served as a final resting place, a hallowed ground where the elite were laid to rest amidst riches and reverence. Each mound tells a story, a narrative intertwined with the lives and legacies of those who were buried within its earthen embrace. As we journey through the ages, we find ourselves in the steppes of Central Asia, where the nomadic cultures thrived, their lives woven with the rhythms of the land. It is here, beneath the vast expanse of sky, that the kurgans were born. Each mound, meticulously crafted by the hands of devoted followers, rose high to honor their leaders. The construction of these grand tombs was a labor of love, a tribute to the might and valor of those who had led their people through battles and strife. But what lies within these mounds? As the first archaeologists began to excavate the kurgans, they uncovered a treasure trove of artifacts, glimmering gold, intricately crafted weapons, and exquisite adornments that spoke of a society rich in culture and artistry. Each item unearthed provides a glimpse into the beliefs and practices of these ancient peoples. They buried their leaders with their most prized possessions, believing that these artifacts would accompany them into the afterlife, ensuring their continued power and protection. Among the most famous of these kurgans is the majestic burial mound of the Scythian king, known as the Golden Man. Discovered in the mid-20th century, this extraordinary site revealed a wealth of gold artifacts that dazzled the world. The intricate craftsmanship of the jewelry, the fierce animal motifs, and the ceremonial weapons painted a vivid picture of a vibrant culture, one that thrived on the interplay of art, warfare, and spirituality. As we delve deeper into the significance of these mounds, we uncover a fascinating truth. The kurgans were not merely tombs, but symbols of power and identity. They represented the social hierarchies of their time, a way to assert dominance and claim the land. The larger the mound, the greater the status of the individual buried within. In a land where survival was a daily battle, these monumental structures served as a reminder of legacy, a way to achieve immortality through memory. The kurgans also played a critical role in the spiritual beliefs of the people. Many cultures believed in an afterlife where the spirits of the deceased would continue to watch over the living. The elaborate rituals performed at these burial sites, from offerings of food and drink to the sacrifice of horses, reflected a deep reverence for the dead. The act of burial itself was a sacred ceremony, a transition into a new realm where the soul would find peace. As time moved forward, the kurgans began to evolve. New influences mingled with the old, and the practice of burial transformed as different cultures left their mark. The Scythians, the Sarmatians, and later the Huns and Turks all contributed to the rich tapestry of kurgan burial practices. Each group brought its own traditions, blending them into a unique expression of their identity and beliefs. Yet, as the centuries passed and empires rose and fell, many of these once majestic mounds fell into obscurity, hidden beneath the passage of time and the encroachment of nature. The very earth that cradled these warriors and kings became a canvas for the ages, slowly reclaiming its secrets. Today, as archaeologists and historians sift through the soil, they breathe life into the stories of those long gone, piecing together the narrative of our shared human history. In our modern era, the kurgans stand as a poignant reminder of our connection to the past. They invite us to reflect on the values of honor, bravery, and legacy that transcended time and culture. As we walk among these ancient hills, we are reminded that the spirits of kings and warriors still linger, their stories etched in the very fabric of the land. So, the next time you gaze upon a distant mound rising against the sky, take a moment to ponder the tales it holds within. For within each kurgan lies not just the remains of a once great leader, but a testament to the enduring human spirit, a story that continues to unfold, echoing across the ages, whispering secrets of kings and warriors who once ruled the vast expanse of the earth. In the heart of the Arctic, where the sun barely kisses the horizon and the winds howl like ancient spirits, lies a realm where time stands still. Beneath layers of ice and snow, the permafrost holds its breath, cradling secrets that have long been forgotten. This is a land of frozen tombs, where the past whispers through the chill, beckoning us to uncover its mysteries. Imagine, if you will, an ancient world, vibrant and teeming with life. Mammoths roamed the vast tundras, their massive forms silhouetted against the shimmering auroras that danced in the sky. Wolves prowled in packs, their howls echoing through the valleys. And amidst this wild beauty, humans hunted, gathered, and thrived, leaving behind remnants of their existence now locked away beneath the frost. As we journey deeper into this frozen expanse, we encounter the remarkable phenomenon of permafrost. This layer of permanently frozen soil is more than just a geological curiosity. It is a time capsule, preserving the remnants of a world that existed thousands of years ago. When the ice melts, it reveals not just bones and artifacts, but entire ecosystems, frozen in time, waiting for us to unravel their stories. In 2016, in the Yamal Peninsula of Russia, a remarkable discovery was made. A team of researchers unearthed the remains of a woolly mammoth, perfectly preserved in the ice. Its thick fur, once vibrant and full of life, stood as a testament to the resilience of nature. But it wasn't just the mammoth that caught the world's attention. It was the story buried alongside it. With the mammoth were remnants of its last meal, a snapshot of what the Earth looked like during the last ice age, a time when the climate was drastically different. But the tales of the frozen tombs do not end with mammoths. In 2019, in the remote reaches of Siberia, explorers stumbled upon a site that would change our understanding of ancient peoples. They found a burial site, marked by intricate carvings and adorned with artifacts that spoke of rituals and beliefs long lost to time. Among the remains were young warriors, their bodies adorned with jewelry made of bone and wood, hinting at a society rich in culture and tradition. Each discovery is like a page in a storybook, filled with vivid illustrations of life, death, and everything in between. From the frozen carcasses of ancient animals to the sophisticated tools of early humans, These relics reveal the ingenuity and adaptability of those who lived in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. They tell us that survival was not just a matter of brute strength, but also of creativity, community, and the spirit of innovation. Yet, as we marvel at these treasures, we are reminded of the fragility of this frozen world. Climate change is melting the permafrost at an alarming rate, threatening to release not just ancient secrets, but also volatile gases that could reshape our planet. Each thaw uncovers new wonders, but it also serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance we must strive to maintain. As we stand on the brink of a new era, the frozen tombs of the Arctic invite us to listen closely. They urge us to remember the stories of those who came before us, to honor their struggles and triumphs, and to reflect on our own place in the tapestry of time. The permafrost is not just a graveyard. It is a reservoir of knowledge, a bridge to our past, and perhaps a guide to our future. So, as the ice continues to melt and the secrets of the frozen tombs are revealed, we are called to embark on this journey of discovery. Let us tread softly upon the land, and with each step may we uncover the stories that lie beneath the frost, forever etched in the annals of history, waiting patiently for us to listen. In the vast expanse of the Eurasian steppe, where the horizon stretches endlessly beneath a vault of sky, a remarkable story unfolds, a tale woven from the threads of history, artistry, and the indomitable spirit of nomadic peoples. This is the story of Chap 13, the art of the steppe, beasts of gold and power. Imagine yourself standing amidst the rolling grasslands, where the winds whisper secrets of ancient civilizations that once roamed these lands. It is a place where the earth seems to breathe, and the very air is infused with the essence of a rich cultural tapestry. For millennia, nomadic tribes have thrived here, their lives intricately connected to the rhythm of nature and the vast herds that grazed upon these verdant plains. As the sun rises, casting a golden hue over the steppe, we find ourselves drawn into the vibrant world of the Scythians, a people whose legacy still echoes through time. Renowned as fierce warriors and skilled horsemen, the Scythians not only conquered lands but also enriched the world with their extraordinary craftsmanship. They were artists too, wielding their tools not just to survive but to create beauty that celebrated life, death, and the spirit of the wild. In this land of open skies and boundless horizons, gold became a symbol of power and prestige. The Scythians, with their profound connection to the natural world, captured the essence of their environment in their art. The legendary gold artifacts that have been unearthed tell stories of a civilization deeply attuned to the animals that roamed alongside them, beasts that embodied strength, grace, and mystery. Imagine the intricate gold work of the Scythian artisans who fashioned stunning adornments, weapons, and ceremonial pieces. Each piece is a masterpiece, alive with the energy of the animals that inspired them. The fierce gaze of a golden eagle, the sleek form of a galloping horse, and the powerful stance of a stag, all captured in delicate filigree and ornate designs. It is as if these artisans breathed life into their creations, forging a connection between the material and the spiritual. As we delve deeper into the heart of this artistic expression, we find ourselves standing before a remarkable scene, a burial mound or kurgan rising majestically from the steppe. Within its earthen embrace lies the final resting place of a Scythian chieftain, surrounded by a treasure trove of artifacts. Here, the artistry of the steppe reaches its zenith, as the dead were honored not just with possessions, but with a narrative of power, a story told through gold. The Scythians believed that the afterlife mirrored the world they inhabited, and thus they adorned their chieftains with golden regalia, ensuring their status and influence would transcend the boundaries of life. Each item buried with them was a testament to their power, a promise that their legacy would endure. Though centuries have passed, the glint of gold still shines brightly, illuminating the tales of bravery and conquest that shaped the course of history. But the artistry of the steppe was not solely about power. It was also a reflection of the deep bond between the nomadic people and the land they called home. The vibrant motifs etched into their artifacts tell of a respect for nature, an acknowledgement of the creatures that roamed the steppe and the cycles of life that governed their existence. The beasts of the steppe were not merely symbols of strength. They were revered companions in an ever-changing world, and their presence was woven into the very fabric of Scythian identity. As we journey through this rich landscape, we encounter echoes of the past that resonate through the ages. The artwork of the steppe has endured, captivating generations with its beauty and complexity. It invites us to reflect on the timeless themes of power, survival, and the intricate relationship between humanity and the natural world. Today, as we stand in museums surrounded by gold artifacts and intricate designs, we are reminded that these treasures are not just relics of a distant past. They are windows into the souls of a people who lived fiercely, loved deeply, and left an indelible mark on history. The story of the Scythians, of beasts of gold and power, is a testament to the enduring spirit of the steppe. It invites us to ponder our own connections to the past and to the land we inhabit. In the end, we are all part of a larger narrative, a tale woven from the threads of our shared humanity, echoing through the ages like the gentle winds that sweep across the vast, open steppe. And so, the art of the steppe lives on, a timeless reminder that beauty can arise from the wild, that stories can be carved in gold, and that the legacy of those who came before us will forever inspire those who dare to dream, create, and explore. In the vast, sprawling steppes of Central Asia, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the wind whispers tales of ancient warriors, a fierce and enigmatic people known as the Scythians roamed. Their legacy, steeped in the art of warfare, reveals a culture that thrived on ambush, speed, and fire, elements that defined not just their battle tactics, but their very way of life. Imagine a landscape painted in shades of gold and green, where herds of horses gallop freely, their hooves thundering like a distant storm. The Scythians, nomadic by nature, were masters of this terrain, and their warriors were as swift as the winds that swept across the plains. They were a people forged in the crucible of survival, their existence intricately woven with the cycles of nature and the rhythm of the hunt. At the heart of Scythian warfare was the concept of ambush. Unlike the armies of their contemporaries, who often met on open fields in structured formations, the Scythians preferred the element of surprise. They would blend seamlessly with their surroundings, camouflaged against the vastness of the steppe. As dusk fell and shadows lengthened, they would lie in wait, their hearts steady, muscles coiled like springs, ready to unleash chaos upon any unsuspecting foe. With their trusty bows, crafted with an artistry that spoke of both beauty and deadly precision, the Scythian archer was a formidable opponent. They could unleash a hail of arrows that darkened the sky, striking from a distance, their targets often unaware until it was too late. This was not mere violence. It was a dance of cunning, a strategy that turned the battlefield into a stage where the Scythians played the lead role. Speed was their ally, and in the blink of an eye they could vanish into the vastness, leaving bewildered enemies in their wake. When the Scythians did engage in direct combat, they did so with an unmatched ferocity. Mounted on their agile horses, they were not merely riders, they were a whirlwind of destruction, striking fast and retreating even faster. Their warriors were trained to strike like lightning, quick, precise, and devastating. Every charge was a calculated bolt of energy, every retreat a masterclass in deception. It was this blend of speed and strategy that turned the tide in many encounters, leaving their adversaries in disarray, struggling to keep pace with their relentless assault. But the Scythians were not just warriors, they were also masters of fire. In their culture, flames held both a practical and a symbolic significance. They used fire to forge weapons, to cook their food, and to warm their homes. Yet, in warfare, fire became a tool of psychological warfare. The sight of flames licking the night sky could send shivers down the spine of even the bravest soldier. When the Scythians set their enemies' camps ablaze, it was not merely an act of destruction. It was a statement of dominance, a demonstration of their power that echoed through the valleys. As we delve deeper into the life of these formidable warriors, we understand that their warfare was not simply about bloodshed and conquest. It was about survival, about defending their way of life against the encroachment of settled civilizations. The Scythians were a people fiercely proud of their nomadic heritage, and each skirmish, each battle fought, was a testament to their resilience. The stories of their exploits spread far and wide, reaching the ears of empires and kingdoms. The Greeks, the Persians, and later the Romans would all speak in awe of the Scythian horsemen, the ghosts of the steppe that seemed to appear and disappear like mirages on the horizon. To them, the Scythians were not just adversaries, they were legends, warriors cloaked in mystery and skill. As we reflect on the legacy of Scythian warfare, we find that it was a complex tapestry woven from threads of speed, ambush, and fire. Their influence can still be felt today, a reminder of the power of strategy over sheer numbers and the lasting impact of a culture that embraced the untamed spirit of the steppes. In the end, the Scythians were not merely warriors, they were symbols of freedom, their stories echoing through time, reminding us of the fierce independence that resides in the heart of every warrior. So, as the sun sets over the endless horizon, casting golden rays upon the whispering grass, we remember the Scythians, not just for their battles, but for their indomitable spirit, a spirit that dances still in the winds of the steppes, forever a part of history's grand narrative. In the vast tapestry of history, where empires rose and fell like the sun over a golden horizon, there existed a clash that would echo through the ages, the encounter between the mighty Persians and the enigmatic Scythians. This tale unfolds in the steppes and valleys of ancient lands, where the fierce winds carried whispers of conflict and intrigue. Imagine, if you will, the Persian Empire at its zenith. Founded by Cyrus the Great in the 6th century BCE, it sprawled across 3 continents, a colossal entity that stretched from the fertile banks of the Indus River to the sun-kissed shores of the Aegean Sea. The Persians, with their sophisticated governance and opulent palaces, were the epitome of civilization, their influence radiating like the warm glow of 1,000 lanterns. They spoke of order and harmony, of a world united under one banner, yet behind this facade of grandeur lay the shadows of ambition and the ever-present spectre of discord. In stark contrast to the Persians stood the Scythians, a nomadic warrior culture that roamed the vast grasslands of Central Asia. They were a people defined by their mobility, their lives woven into the fabric of the endless steppe. With their swift horses and unparalleled archery skills, the Scythians were masters of the hunt and the battlefield. They lived in harmony with nature, honoring the spirits of the land and sky, yet they were also fierce protectors of their freedom, fiercely resisting any attempts to impose order upon their wild existence. As the Persian Empire sought to expand its borders, the Scythians caught their eye, a tantalizing prize on the edge of their sprawling territory. The Persians, driven by the desire to conquer, sought to subdue the Scythians, to bring them under the yoke of their vast empire. But the Scythians were not to be underestimated. They were a people who had never known the chains of servitude, and they would not submit easily to the ambitions of a centralized power. One fateful day, the Persian king Darius I, a ruler known for his strategic prowess and unyielding resolve, decided to march against the Scythians. He assembled a grand army, a sea of disciplined soldiers draped in the vibrant colours of Persia, their banners fluttering like the wings of 1,000 birds. This was no ordinary campaign. It was a declaration of power, a statement that the Persian Empire would not tolerate any challenge to its authority, not even from the nomadic tribes of the steppe. As Darius advanced into Scythian territory, the landscape transformed. The lush valleys gave way to rolling hills and vast plains, where the wind whispered secrets of ancient battles. The Scythians, aware of the Persian advance, adopted their own strategy, one that relied on the very essence of their nomadic lifestyle. They would not stand in open battle. They would use the terrain to their advantage, striking like shadows and disappearing before the Persians could mount a counterattack. The clash was not one of traditional warfare, but rather a deadly game of cat and mouse. The Scythians harried the Persian forces, launching swift raids, their arrows flying like whispers in the wind, only to vanish into the horizon before the Persians could retaliate. The Persian soldiers, accustomed to the grand formations of battle, found themselves disoriented, their carefully laid plans unraveling against the cunning tactics of their elusive foes. Days turned into weeks as the Persians struggled to pin down the Scythians. The vastness of the steppe worked against them, a sprawling expanse that swallowed their hopes of a quick victory. Supplies dwindled, morale waned, and the once vibrant banners began to droop under the weight of frustration. Darius realized that this was not just a battle of strength, but a test of endurance against an enemy that thrived on the very unpredictability of their nomadic existence. As the campaign dragged on, the Scythians remained a constant thorn in the side of the Persian force. They struck at night, raiding camps and stealing supplies, their laughter echoing through the darkness, a haunting reminder of their defiance. Darius, faced with the reality of a protracted war, began to understand that the Scythians were not merely enemies to be vanquished, they were a force of nature, an embodiment of freedom that could not easily be tamed. In the end, Darius chose to retreat, recognizing that the cost of victory would far outweigh the benefits of conquest. The Persian army, battered and weary, turned back, leaving the Scythians to their vast steppes, untouched and undefeated. The encounter between these two great powers would become a tale whispered through the ages, a story of resilience, determination, and the unyielding spirit of a people who refused to be confined. As we reflect on this chapter of history, we understand that empires may rise and fall, but the essence of freedom and the spirit of resistance endure. The Scythians, with their wild hearts and untamed souls, remind us that some battles are not fought with swords and shields, but with the very essence of identity and the relentless pursuit of liberty. In the grand tapestry of human history, it is these stories, woven with threads of conflict and courage, that remind us of our shared humanity and the ever-present struggle for autonomy in the face of overwhelming power. In the vast tapestry of history, where tales of empires rise and fall, there exists a voice that echoes through time, a voice that whispers the secrets of the past. This voice belongs to Herodotus, the father of history, a man whose inquisitive spirit led him to traverse the ancient world, gathering stories as one might collect rare and precious gems. Today, we journey into one of his most captivating narratives, the tales of the Scythians, a nomadic people who roamed the steppes of Eurasia. Imagine a land stretching endlessly beneath an expanse of azure sky, where the wind dances over wide plains and the sun casts long shadows across the earth. This was the realm of the Scythians, fierce warriors and skilled horsemen who lived by a code as wild and untamed as the land they called home. Herodotus, with his keen eye and insatiable curiosity, ventured into this world, seeking to uncover the secrets of this enigmatic tribe. As we delve into his accounts, we find ourselves in the company of the Scythian chieftains, men and women alike, adorned in intricate tattoos and fierce expressions. They were a people bound by tradition, yet unyielding in their adaptability. Herodotus describes their elaborate funerary rituals, where the dead were honored with great reverence. Bodies were buried with their most treasured possessions, often including horses, to ensure a safe passage into the afterlife, a journey that was both sacred and profound. The Scythians were not merely warriors, they were custodians of a rich culture. Herodotus painted vivid pictures of their daily lives, where the clamor of battle was interspersed with the gentle sounds of family life. The women, often underestimated, were fierce in their own right, fighting alongside men and commanding respect. They were skilled artisans, weaving intricate patterns into textiles, creating beauty amid the harsh realities of their existence. As we listen to Herodotus, we can almost hear the thundering hooves of the Scythians' horses, feel the warm sun on our skin, and smell the smoke of their campfires mingling with the crisp air. He recounts stories of their conflicts with the mighty Persian Empire, led by King Darius, who sought to expand his dominion into Scythian territory. The Scythians, however, were not easily subdued. They utilized their intimate knowledge of the land, engaging in guerrilla tactics that left the Persian forces disoriented and frustrated. Yet, amidst the tales of war and valor, Herodotus also reveals the Scythians' complex relationship with the divine. He speaks of their reverence for the gods, particularly the worship of a great sky deity. Rituals were intricate, and sacrifices were made, a testament to their belief that the favor of the heavens was essential for survival. With each brushstroke of his pen, Herodotus conveys a society that, while fierce in battle, was deeply rooted in spirituality and tradition. As we continue to explore these ancient tales, we encounter the Scythians' unique customs, such as their love for elaborate feasts, moments of joy that punctuated the harshness of their lives. They celebrated victories with communal gatherings, where the air was filled with laughter, music, and the clinking of goblets filled with fermented mare's milk, a drink that was both a staple and a delicacy. Herodotus, ever the observer, does not shy away from the quirks and peculiarities of the Scythian way of life. He shares stories of their peculiar rituals surrounding death and honor, including the practice of drinking the blood of their slain enemies, a symbol of bravery and a means to absorb their strength. These practices may seem barbaric to modern sensibilities, yet through Herodotus's eyes, we see a people who lived with an intensity that few can comprehend, a people who embraced the cycle of life and death with fervor. As our journey through Herodotus's tales draws to a close, we are left with a profound understanding of the Scythians, not just as fearsome warriors, but as a vibrant culture rich in traditions, spirituality, and resilience. Through his words, Herodotus breathes life into the past, allowing us to glimpse a world that, while distant in time, resonates with the human experience. In the end, it is not merely the stories of battles and conquests that linger in our minds, but the essence of a people who danced with the wind and roamed the great steppes, carving their legacy into the annals of history. We are reminded that history is not a mere collection of dates and events. It is a living tapestry woven from the threads of human experiences, emotions, and stories that, like the Scythians, continue to inspire and captivate us even thousands of years after they were first told. In the heart of the ancient Mediterranean, two worlds collided, the spirited lands of Greece and the diverse realms of its neighbors. This was not merely a tale of geographical proximity, but a profound narrative of trade, conflict, and cultural exchange that would shape civilizations for centuries to come. Imagine the bustling markets of Athens, where vibrant textiles, fragrant spices, and gleaming pottery filled the air with a sense of possibility. Merchants from far and wide gathered here, their stalls adorned with the fruits of their travels. As the sun bathed the cobblestones in a golden hue, the voices of traders mingled, weaving a tapestry of languages and stories, each one a thread in the intricate fabric of Mediterranean life. The Greeks were skilled navigators, their ships cutting through the waves like a bird in flight. With their sails unfurled, they ventured beyond the familiar shores, seeking new lands and opportunities. The Aegean Sea became a highway of exchange, linking the islands and coasts of Greece with distant civilizations. From the shores of Asia Minor to the bustling ports of Egypt, the Greeks exchanged not only goods, but ideas, philosophies, and customs that would enrich their own culture. Yet, as with any vibrant tapestry, the threads of connection were often frayed by conflict. The allure of trade drew not only merchants, but also warriors. The Greeks found themselves at the crossroads of empires, where competition for resources and influence ignited tensions. The Persian Wars, a colossal clash between the mighty Persian Empire and the resilient city-states of Greece, unfolded as a saga of valor and strategy. The battles of Marathon and Salamis became legendary, symbolizing the indomitable spirit of a people fighting for their identity and sovereignty. But the conflict was not merely a struggle for land, it was a struggle for ideas. The Greeks, with their rich philosophical traditions, engaged in a dialogue with their adversaries. Even in warfare, they sought to understand the other, leading to a complex exchange of military tactics, governance, and art. The aftermath of these conflicts often birthed new alliances, as former enemies recognized the value of cooperation in a world that was ever-changing. As trade routes expanded, so too did the realms of influence. Colonies sprang forth like wildflowers, from the shores of Italy to the coasts of North Africa. These new settlements became melting pots of culture where Hellenic traditions mingled with indigenous practices. The Greeks brought with them their gods, their myths, and their democratic ideals, leaving an indelible mark on the lands they touched. In return, they absorbed local customs, forging a dynamic exchange that enriched both sides. Artisans and philosophers traveled across these networks, sharing knowledge and stories. The famous philosopher Socrates, for instance, drew not only from the intellectual wealth of his own city, but also from the thoughts of those encountered on his journeys. The schools of thought that emerged during this period laid the foundations of Western philosophy, intertwining Greek ideals with the wisdom of the East. Yet, as the centuries flowed like the tides, the balance of power shifted. Rome, a burgeoning empire, began to cast its gaze upon the Greek world. The once vibrant trade routes became battlegrounds once again, as the Roman legions marched into the Hellenistic heartlands. But rather than a mere conquest, this interaction became a profound exchange of culture. Greek art, literature, and philosophy seeped into Roman society, forever transforming it. The Romans, in their quest for glory, found themselves enamored by the very ideals they sought to dominate. As we reflect on this intricate tapestry of trade, conflict, and exchange, we recognize that the legacy of Greece is not just in its monuments or its myths, but in its ability to connect, to adapt, and to inspire. The ancient Greeks, through their voyages and their battles, created a dialogue that transcended borders, a dialogue that continues to resonate in our world today. In the end, the story of contact with Greece is not merely a chapter of history, it is a reminder of our shared human experience. It teaches us that through trade, even amidst conflict, we can find common ground, learn from one another, and forge a path toward understanding. And as we navigate our own complexities in today's world, we would do well to remember the lessons inscribed in the annals of time by those ancient mariners and thinkers who dared to reach beyond their shores. In the shadowy veil of history, where myths and reality intertwine, there exists a tapestry woven with threads of blood, honor, and reverence. Today, we embark on a journey through ancient traditions and sacred rituals that have long captivated the imagination. The ritual of horse sacrifices. Imagine, if you will, a time when the thundering hooves of horses echoed across vast plains, their spirits intertwined with the very essence of nobility and power. Horses were not merely beasts of burden. They were revered companions, symbols of strength, and conduits of divine favor. In many cultures, the horse transcended its physical form, becoming a bridge between the mortal realm and the ethereal. Let us travel to the steppes of Central Asia, where nomadic tribes embraced the horse as a sacred entity. Here, the air is thick with the scent of earth and the distant sound of chanting. The tribes gather, their faces painted with the colors of their heritage, eyes glimmering with purpose. They prepare for a moment that is both an end and a beginning, the ritual sacrifice of a horse. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the gathering, the elders step forward. Their voices rise in a haunting melody, invoking the spirits of their ancestors and the guardians of the land. The horse, noble and proud, stands in the center, adorned with intricate ornaments that shimmer in the fading light. It is a moment steeped in solemnity, for this creature represents not only life but the promise of prosperity and protection for the tribe. The ritual unfolds with a choreography of grace and intent. Each movement is deliberate, steeped in tradition passed down through generations. The horse's sacrifice is not an act of brutality, but a profound offering, a transaction with the divine. The blood spilled upon the earth is believed to nourish the land, ensuring bountiful harvests and safeguarding the community's future. Across the oceans, in the heart of the Indian subcontinent, the grandeur of horse sacrifices takes on a different form. Here, kings would perform the Ashvamedha, a ritual that not only asserted their sovereignty but also sought to expand their realms. The majestic horse, chosen for its beauty and strength, would be released to roam freely for a set number of days, symbolizing the king's dominion over his territory. As the horse gallops across the land, it becomes a living testament to the king's power. When it is finally recaptured, it is treated with utmost reverence. The culmination of this ritual is the sacrifice, a spectacle of grandeur attended by nobles, priests and warriors, all witnessing the intertwining of life, death, and the eternal quest for honor. The king, standing tall, knows that through this act, he solidifies his legacy in the annals of history. But as we delve deeper into the significance of these rituals, we find that they are not merely acts of worship or displays of power. They are profound expressions of the human condition. In every cut, every drop of blood, lies the essence of sacrifice, the willingness to give up something precious for a greater cause. In the ancient world, sacrifices were a language of devotion, a means of communicating with the divine. The act of offering a horse was laden with meaning, an acknowledgement of the cycle of life and death, a tribute to the spirits that guide and protect. The echoes of hooves, the chants of the people, the prayers lifted to the heavens, all weave together a narrative of connection, reverence, and the eternal dance of existence. Yet, as we gaze into this rich tapestry, we also confront the shadows it casts. For every honor bestowed upon the act, there lies a question. What does it mean to take a life in the name of a greater good? The moral quandaries that arise from such rituals echo through the ages, challenging our understanding of sacrifice. As we reflect on the centuries of horse sacrifices, those moments frozen in time where blood and honor intertwined, we begin to grasp the complexities of human belief and the eternal search for meaning. These rituals, steeped in tradition, remind us that the past is never truly gone. It lives on in our stories, our cultures, and our hearts. So, dear listener, as we conclude this journey through the realms of horse sacrifices, let us carry forward the lessons they offer. In a world often marred by conflict and division, may we find the courage to honor our connections, to the land, to one another, and to the sacred threads that bind us all in this intricate tapestry of life. In the vast tapestry of human history, few narratives are as rich and complex as that of nomads and settlers, Two distinct ways of life that have danced around each other for millennia. As we embark on this journey into the heart of the land where these two worlds collide, we find ourselves at the borders, where tension brews and stories unfold. Imagine a landscape that stretches endlessly under an expansive sky, the earth dotted with the footprints of those who have roamed its surface for generations. Here, nomads, the wanderers, the free spirits, move with the seasons, their lives entwined with the rhythms of nature. They are the guardians of ancient traditions, carrying with them the wisdom of the ages, the stories of their ancestors etched into their very beings. Their homes are not constructed of stone or wood, but are ephemeral shelters, easily dismantled and reassembled, a testament to their adaptability and resilience. Now picture the settlers, those who have chosen to sink their roots deep into the earth. With ploughs in hand and fields stretching toward the horizon, they cultivate the land, transforming it into a mosaic of farms and villages. These are the builders of communities, the architects of permanence, who strive to tame the wild, to mold nature to their needs. They draw lines on maps, claiming territory, defining borders, and, in this act of claiming, they often unwittingly sow the seeds of conflict. As we traverse the borders between these two worlds, we witness the myriad ways in which their paths intertwine. In the shadow of a mountain, a nomadic tribe might pause in its journey, setting up camp at the edge of a settler's field. Here we see the tension take form. The nomads, seeking grazing land for their herds, may encroach upon the settlers' carefully cultivated crops. For the settlers, their livelihoods are at stake. The fruits of their labor lie just beyond the encampment, vulnerable and exposed. In this delicate balance, misunderstandings flourish. The nomads, with their deep connection to the earth, see the land as a shared resource, a living entity that cannot be owned. The settlers, meanwhile, view the land through a lens of possession and productivity, believing that their hard work grants them rights over the soil. It is a clash of philosophies, a struggle between freedom and security, between movement and stability. As we delve deeper into history, we discover instances where these tensions erupted into outright conflict. Raids and retaliations, treaties and betrayals mark the pages of their interactions, each scar in the landscape telling a story of sorrow and loss. Yet, amid this turmoil, there are also tales of cooperation and understanding. In some regions, nomads and settlers forged alliances, sharing knowledge and resources, recognizing the strength found in diversity. Consider the bustling marketplaces that sprang up at the intersections of their worlds. Here, nomads would trade their livestock for grains and tools, creating vibrant hubs of culture and commerce. These exchanges were not merely economic transactions, they were moments of connection, where stories were shared and friendships were born, reminding us that beneath the surface of conflict lies the potential for unity. As we explore the modern implications of this age-old dynamic, we see echoes of the past in contemporary societies. The borders that once divided are now often reimagined, with both nomads and settlers navigating a world that is ever more interconnected. Climate change, urbanization, and globalization have transformed landscapes, compelling both groups to reconsider their relationship with the land and with each other. In the end, the story of nomads and settlers is not merely one of tension and conflict. It is a reflection of humanity itself, our desires, our struggles, and our capacity for change. As we stand at the edges of these worlds, we are reminded that the lines we draw may separate us, but the stories we share can unite us. So, as we conclude our journey through the tensions on the borders, let us carry with us the lessons learned from these two enduring ways of life. In understanding their complexities, we find a deeper appreciation for the richness of our shared human experience and perhaps a glimmer of hope for a more harmonious future. The land may divide us, but our stories have the power to bring us together. In the heart of ancient history, where the whispers of the wind carry tales of valor and strength, there existed a tribe of fierce women who defied the conventions of their time. They were the Amazons, mythical daughters of Scythia, guardians of their own destiny in a world dominated by men. Today, we embark on a journey to unravel the legend of these extraordinary warriors, to explore the myths and truths that surround their existence. Imagine, if you will, the vast steppes of Scythia, endless grasslands stretching beyond the horizon, kissed by the sun and shadowed by the whispers of ancient trees. Here, among the rolling hills and wild rivers, the Amazons roamed, their spirits untamed, their hearts ablaze with a fierce independence. These women were not merely fighters. They were a society built upon values of strength, courage, and sisterhood. They were daughters of the horse and bow, skilled horsewomen who could gallop into battle with unparalleled agility, their arrows flying true. The origins of the Amazons are cloaked in the mists of mythology. Some say they were born from the union of Ares, the god of war, and Harmonia, a goddess of harmony. Others tell tales of them rising from the earth itself, birthed from the fury of a world that craved balance between the masculine and feminine. What is clear is that the Amazons were not to be trifled with. They were fierce protectors of their land, unyielding in their pursuit of freedom. As we delve into the stories passed down through generations, we find ourselves enchanted by the duality of their existence. The Amazons embodied both beauty and ferocity. They adorned themselves with intricate jewelry and vibrant garments, yet their hands were calloused from gripping bows and swords. They danced under the moonlight, celebrating their victories with songs that echoed through the valleys. Yet they were always prepared for the next battle, their spirits unbroken by the challenges they faced. In Greek mythology, the Amazons were often portrayed as adversaries to the great heroes of the age, men like Heracles and Theseus. These tales, while embellished, reveal a society that challenged the norms of their time. The Amazons were not simply villains in a hero's narrative. They were the embodiment of women's strength, a testament to the power that lies in independence and resilience. They fought not just for conquest, but for their very right to exist on their own terms, a message that resonates even in our modern world. Yet, the stories of the Amazons extend beyond battle and bravery. They were also mothers, nurturing a new generation in their own image. Their daughters were trained in the arts of war and wisdom, taught to honor their legacy while carving their own paths. The bond between Amazon sisters was unbreakable, forged through shared experiences of struggle and triumph, a connection that transcended the boundaries of friendship and kinship. As we gaze upon the artifacts of the past, such as the intricate pottery and ancient weapons, we are reminded of the legacy left behind by these formidable women. Archaeological discoveries hint at their existence, revealing burial sites adorned with weapons and horse trappings, suggesting that these warriors were indeed more than mere myth. They were real, living women who tread the earth with purpose and passion, their stories waiting to be unearthed by those willing to listen. In their wake, the Amazons have left an indelible mark on culture and art, inspiring generations of writers, artists, and dreamers. From the pages of ancient texts to the canvases of Renaissance painters, their imagery has evolved. But the essence of their spirit remains. They are a symbol of empowerment, a reminder that strength knows no gender, and that the fight for autonomy is timeless. As we conclude our journey through the tales of the Amazons, we are left with a sense of awe and inspiration. Their story is not just one of warriors and battles, it is a celebration of womanhood, resilience, and the eternal quest for freedom. In a world that often seeks to define and confine, the Amazons remind us to break free, to forge our own identities, and to live boldly just as they did in the vast steppes of Scythia. So, the next time you hear the name of the Amazons, let it echo in your heart, a call to honor the fierce spirit within us all. For in their legacy lies the strength to rise, to fight, and to embrace the power of our own stories. In the sweeping expanse of the Eurasian steppe, where the horizon stretches infinitely under a vast and unyielding sky, there thrived a realm steeped in mystery and majesty, a land known as Scythia. This was a world where the thundering hooves of horses echoed across the plains, where nomadic tribes roamed freely, and where a unique culture blossomed in the heart of the steppes. Imagine a time, over 2,000 years ago, when the Scythians emerged as the foremost rulers of this vast territory. They were not merely conquerors, they were a people intricately woven into the fabric of their environment, masters of both the land and the art of war. The Scythians, with their remarkable horsemanship and fierce warrior ethos, became legends in their own right. Fearless riders, clad in intricately adorned leather and fur, wielding bows that could shoot arrows with deadly precision from the backs of their swift steeds. As we delve deeper into the world of Scythia at its height, we must first understand the essence of its people. These were not mere tribes, they were a confederation of fiercely independent clans, bound together by shared customs, beliefs, and the vast landscape they called home. They worshipped a pantheon of gods, with deities representing the elements and the spirits of ancestors, ensuring that nature itself was revered and respected. Their connection to the land was profound, as was their understanding of the delicate balance between the nomadic lifestyle and the resources that sustained them. In their pursuit of survival and prosperity, the Scythians became remarkable traders. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes connecting the East and the West, flourished during this era. Scythian merchants traversed these routes, exchanging precious goods such as gold, silver, furs and textiles, while also bringing back exotic treasures from far-flung lands, silks from China, glassware from the Mediterranean, and spices that tantalized the senses. With each transaction, they wove a tapestry of cultural exchange, enriching their own society with the ideas, art, and innovations of neighboring civilizations. Yet their prowess as traders was rivaled only by their fearsome reputation as warriors. The Scythians were often called the horse people for good reason. Their cavalry tactics revolutionized warfare, employing strategies that would be studied for centuries to come. They mastered the art of hit-and-run skirmishes, utilizing their speed and agility to outmaneuver enemies on the battlefield. With a bow in one hand and the reins in the other, they charged into battle, turning the tides of conflict with their swift and deadly assaults. Within this warrior culture, there was an intriguing duality. A fierce exterior masked a rich inner life. The Scythians had a profound respect for beauty and artistry. Intricate gold jewelry, adorned with animal motifs and geometric designs, showcased their exceptional craftsmanship. Elaborate burial mounds, known as kurgans, revealed a society that honored its dead with lavish grave goods, including weapons, pottery, and even horses, an indication of their belief in the afterlife and the journey beyond. As we wander through the remnants of Scythian civilization, we encounter tales of their legendary kings and queens. One name stands out among the rest: Tomyris, a formidable queen known for her indomitable spirit and fierce leadership. The story of her battle against Cyrus the Great of Persia is etched into history, a tale of defiance and resilience, where she vowed to avenge her fallen son and went on to defeat one of the most powerful empires of the time. In her triumph, she became a symbol of female strength and empowerment, a legacy that reverberates through the ages. However, the glory of Scythia was not to last forever. As empires rose and fell, the winds of change began to sweep across the steppes. The very forces that had once brought them prosperity, trade and conquest, would soon become their undoing. As the Roman Empire expanded and new powers emerged on the horizon, the Scythians found themselves increasingly isolated, their way of life threatened by the encroaching tides of history. Yet, even as the Scythians faded from the annals of history, their legacy endured. The influence of their culture reached far beyond the steppe, leaving an indelible mark on future civilizations. The tales of their bravery, artistry, and connection to the land continued to inspire generations, reminding us of a time when the lords of the steppe rode across the vast and open skies, embodying the spirit of freedom and the essence of a people united by the rhythm of the earth beneath their galloping steeds. So, as we reflect on Scythia at its height, let us carry forward the stories of the Scythians, their triumphs, their struggles, and their unwavering spirit, into the ever-unfolding tapestry of human history, a reminder that even in the face of change, the essence of a people can endure, echoing through the ages like the distant sound of hooves on the steppe. In the annals of history, there comes a time when the tides of power begin to shift, when the once mighty empires that stood tall against the horizon start to crumble under the weight of their own ambition. This is the story of a decline, a tale woven into the fabric of human experience, an exploration of the rivalries that emerged, the shifting powers that reshaped the world, and the lessons that echo through the ages. As we journey back to a pivotal moment in history, we find ourselves in a sprawling kingdom, vibrant and alive with the pulse of its people. Its streets brim with merchants hawking their wares, scholars debating in candle-lit halls, and soldiers training in the sun-drenched fields. This kingdom, once the heart of civilization, now finds itself at a crossroads. The forces that propelled it to greatness, wealth, culture, and military prowess are beginning to fray at the edges. The first whispers of decline can be heard in the corridors of power, where leaders once revered for their wisdom now grapple with the shadows of their decisions. Internal strife simmers beneath the surface, a restless populace yearning for change while the elite cling to the old ways. The spectre of dissent rises like smoke from a fire, threatening to engulf the very foundations of this once unassailable realm. Across distant lands, rival powers stir from their slumber. With every passing day they grow bolder, eyes fixed on the crumbling walls of the empire. They see opportunity where others see despair, and the air thickens with tension as alliances shift and betrayals brew. Among these rivals, a new breed of leader emerges, charismatic, cunning, and unafraid to challenge the status quo. Their ambitions are fierce and they wield them like weapons, drawing loyal followers who are disillusioned with the old order. One such figure is a formidable warrior whose rise to prominence sends shockwaves through the kingdom. He rallies the discontented and offers them a vision of a new dawn. His voice resonates with those who have been left behind, promising them not just a place in the world, but a hand in shaping it. As his influence spreads, the once unified kingdom begins to fracture, torn asunder by the very ideals that once held it together. In the heart of this turmoil, we witness the emergence of new alliances as former enemies band together in the face of a common threat. The landscape of power is evolving, a chessboard where every move is critical. Leaders must navigate treacherous waters, balancing the desires of the people with the imperatives of survival. The stakes are high, and the game is ruthless. Amid the chaos, there are those who remain steadfast, clinging to the vestiges of the past. They believe in the glory of their heritage and the strength of tradition. But as history has taught us time and again, the winds of change are relentless. The old guard finds itself increasingly isolated, their cries for stability drowned out by the fervent calls for revolution and reform. As rival factions clash and ideologies collide, the kingdom becomes a battleground not only of swords, but of ideas. The air crackles with the electricity of change, and it is here that the seeds of a new world order are sown. The old ways give way to the new, not without struggle, not without pain, but with an undeniable promise of a brighter future. In this intricate tapestry of decline and rebirth, we must ask ourselves, what lessons can we learn from this tumultuous chapter of history? What can we glean from the rise and fall of empires, from the rivalries that reshape the world? For within these stories lie the echoes of our own experiences, reflections of the eternal dance between power and vulnerability, ambition and consequence. And as we reach the end of this chapter, we are left with a profound understanding that decline is not merely an end, but a transformation. It is a reminder that in every ending lies the potential for new beginnings, and that the tide of history is ever in motion, ready to sweep us toward uncharted shores. The decline may mark the end of one era, but it also heralds the dawn of another, one filled with the promise of change, challenge, and ultimately renewal. In the vast expanse of the ancient Eurasian steppes, where the winds whispered secrets of warriors long past, a story unfolds. A tale of two peoples, intertwined by fate, yet divided by ambition. This is the story of the Sarmatians and the Scythians, a saga of heirs and enemies, a dance of kinship and rivalry that shaped the course of history. Picture, if you will, the Scythians, fearless horsemen clad in vibrant tunics, their faces adorned with intricate tattoos, riding across the golden grasslands with the grace of the wind. They were the masters of the steppes, known for their unparalleled skill in archery and their fierce nomadic lifestyle. Their empire stretched from the shores of the Black Sea, across the endless plains, into the heart of Asia, leaving an indelible mark on the culture and warfare of the ancient world. But as the sun set on the Scythian era, a new power began to rise. Enter the Sarmatians, a people shrouded in both mystery and valor, emerging from the shadows of their Scythian predecessors. The Sarmatians, with their own unique customs and fierce warrior spirit, were once seen as mere offshoots of the Scythians. But as their influence grew, so did their identity, and a complex relationship took shape, one fraught with both homage and hostility. Imagine the scene. Vast herds of horses grazing under the watchful eyes of Sarmatian herdsmen. Unlike the Scythians, who thrived on the art of raiding and conquest, the Sarmatians began to carve out a distinct path. They embraced a more settled lifestyle, yet they remained fierce warriors, known for their formidable cavalry and innovative tactics. They adopted the deadly Scythian bow, but added their own flair, longer, more powerful, and deadly accurate. The Sarmatians were no mere imitators. They were innovators, blending the old with the new, forging their own identity. As the Scythians faced external pressures from rising powers and internal strife, the Sarmatians seized the moment. They began to expand their territory, pushing into lands once dominated by their predecessors. The once vibrant Scythian culture began to wane, overshadowed by the relentless march of the Sarmatians. But was this a simple case of inheritance or something more treacherous? The relationship between these two peoples was not merely one of kinship. It was a tapestry woven with conflict, alliances, and betrayals. The Scythians, who had once been the unrivaled masters of the steppes, found themselves facing a new generation of warriors, Sarmatian marauders who respected their legacy but sought to carve their own destiny. Through the ages, tales of battles and skirmishes filled the air as the Sarmatians and Scythians clashed, each side vying for supremacy over the vast, open lands. The Sarmatians, with their formidable cavalry, began to adopt and adapt Scythian strategies, turning them against their former mentors. In the midst of this upheaval, an uneasy coexistence emerged. The Scythians, once rulers, became fragmented, while the Sarmatians, although seen as invaders by some, were also recognized as the rightful heirs to a legacy that had begun with the Scythians themselves. And yet, amidst the clash of swords and the thunder of hooves, there were moments of shared culture, a mingling of traditions that transcended the boundaries of rivalry. As the Sarmatians settled into their new territories, they absorbed elements of Scythian art, religion, and social customs. The once polarized identities began to blur, creating a complex tapestry of shared heritage. As the centuries rolled on, the Sarmatians would morph into a dominant force in their own right. They would expand their reach across Europe, influencing the very fabric of cultures that would rise and fall in their wake. The legacy of the Scythians lived on through them, not as a simple inheritance, but as a testament to resilience and adaptation in the face of change. In the end, the Sarmatians were neither solely heirs nor enemies of the Scythians. They were a continuation of a story, a chapter in the vast annals of history that speaks to the complexity of human relationships. They were warriors molded by the lessons of the past, yet driven by the ambitions of the future. So, as we stand on the precipice of history, looking back at these two great peoples, we see not just conflict, but a rich narrative of cultural evolution. A reminder that in the grand tapestry of time, the lines between heirs and enemies often blur, leaving us with a legacy that is both shared and contested, both honored and fought over. The steppes may be silent now, but the echoes of the Sarmatians and Scythians continue to resonate, telling a tale that is forever intertwined in the story of humanity. In the vast expanse of the Eurasian steppe, a land marked by rolling grasslands and ancient winds, a tale unfolds, a tale of ambition, power, and the relentless march of empires. We begin our journey in a time when the sun rose and set, not just over the earth, but over the destinies of nations. This is a story of the coming of Rome and the new powers that lingered at the very edge of the steppe. The steppe, a realm where the horizon dances with the promise of freedom, has long been home to nomadic tribes, fierce and proud. The Scythians, the Sarmatians, and later the Huns roamed these wide-open spaces, their lives intricately woven with the rhythms of the land. They were masters of horse and bow, warriors who understood the art of survival in an unforgiving world. Yet beyond the rolling hills and endless plains, another power was rising, one that would change the course of history forever. As we gaze westward, we find ourselves at the gates of a burgeoning empire. Rome, the city of 7 hills, a hub of innovation, culture, and ambition, stood poised to expand its influence beyond the Mediterranean. The Romans, with their thirst for conquest, were not merely seeking land. They were pursuing a vision of civilization, a dream of uniting the known world under one banner. But this ambition came at a price, as they would soon discover. In the early days, the Romans were aware of the steppe's inhabitants primarily through trade and diplomacy. They were fascinated by the exotic goods that traveled along the Silk Road, silks, spices, and precious metals. The nomadic tribes, in turn, recognized the wealth and stability that Rome offered. There were alliances, treaties, and exchanges as both sides sought to understand one another. However, the allure of Roman wealth would soon turn into a catalyst for conflict. As the Romans ventured further into the territories of the East, they encountered a formidable force, the Sarmatians. These fierce warriors, skilled horsemen, and expert tacticians had their own ambitions. They were not simply subjects to be conquered, but rivals to be reckoned with. Their clashes with the Romans would become legendary, echoing through the ages as battles of wit, strategy, and sheer will. The Romans, with their disciplined legions and intricate war machines, brought an unmistakable change to the steppe. They introduced fortified camps, advanced military strategies, and a new way of life that clashed with the nomadic traditions of the tribes. The steppe was a tapestry of cultures, and the threads were becoming tangled. The once distant thunder of hooves was now met with the clash of swords and shields, as the winds carried tales of glory and devastation across the plains. Among the nomadic tribes arose a figure destined to alter the very fabric of this unfolding narrative. A leader who would unite the disparate clans against the encroaching tide of Roman power. His name would resonate through history: Attila, the scourge of God. A warrior, a tactician, and a charismatic figure, Attila stirred the hearts of his people, rallying them to defend their way of life against what they saw as an existential threat. His rise was not just a tale of individual valor, it was a reflection of a collective struggle, a fight for identity in a world rapidly changing. As the two forces collided, the steppe became a battleground, a vast stage where history played out its grandest drama. The Romans, with their legions, marched forth, seeking to subdue the wild heart of the steppe. Yet they were met with fierce resistance, as the nomadic tribes fought not just for land, but for their very existence. The battles were brutal, marked by strategy, valor, and the blood of countless warriors. In the shadows of these grand conflicts, there were also moments of unexpected unity. The relentless pressure from Rome sometimes forced the nomadic tribes to forge fragile alliances. They shared tales of bravery and resilience, fostering a sense of camaraderie even among traditional enemies. The steppe, a place of chaos, also became a crucible of forging identities, challenging notions of power and subjugation. As we draw closer to the end of this chapter, we see a landscape transformed. The steppe is no longer merely a region of nomadic tribes. It has become a complex interplay of cultures, a meeting point of civilizations. The Romans, in their quest for expansion, have ignited a fire that cannot easily be extinguished. The clashes of horse and chariot, of steel and spirit, have left an indelible mark on both sides. The coming of Rome heralded not just a new age of empires, but a profound change in the way people understood power, identity, and community. The steppe, with its vast horizons and untamed spirit, stood as a testament to resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. It was a space where legends were born, where the echoes of warriors still linger, reminding us that history is not just a series of events, but a tapestry woven from the threads of countless lives, each one contributing to the story of humanity. And so, as we reflect on this chapter of history, we are reminded that the dance of power is eternal. As one empire rises, another must inevitably fall, and the winds of change will continue to sweep across the steppe, carrying with them the dreams and destinies of those who dare to seek a place in the annals of time. In the heart of Eastern Europe, where the sun rises over the vast steppes and the winds whisper tales of ancient warriors, lies a land steeped in mystery and intrigue. This is the story of the Scythians, a nomadic people whose legacy echoes through the valleys of Crimea and stretches far beyond its shores. Imagine a time long before the borders of nations were drawn, when the earth was still young and untamed. The Scythians roamed these grassy plains, their horses galloping like the wind, their spirits as wild and free as the lands they inhabited. They were not just warriors, they were artists, traders, and storytellers, weaving their existence into the very fabric of history. As we delve deeper into the lore of the Scythians, we find ourselves in a world where survival depended on the mastery of the horse and the bow. With each gallop across the steppe, they forged alliances and rivalries, carving out a kingdom that would leave an indelible mark on the cultures they encountered. The Scythians were a force to be reckoned with, their influence spreading from the shores of the Black Sea to the distant reaches of Persia and beyond. But what drove these nomads? What fueled their passion for conquest and exploration? The answer lies not only in their thirst for land, but also in their deep connection to the natural world. The Scythians revered the earth, the sky, and the spirits that dwelled within them. Their elaborate burial mounds, known as kurgans, tell tales of a people who believed in the afterlife, honoring their dead with treasures that reflected their status and achievements. Gold artifacts shimmering in the sunlight, intricately designed weapons, and exquisite pottery, each item a testament to a civilization that valued artistry as much as warfare. As we explore the intricate web of Scythian society, we uncover the roles of women in this fierce culture. Contrary to the norms of many ancient civilizations, Scythian women wielded power as warriors and leaders. They rode alongside their male counterparts, their presence on the battlefield a force that challenged the traditional narratives of gender roles. These women were not mere shadows of their male kin. They were fierce, independent, and integral to the Scythian way of life. But the Scythians were more than just warriors and artisans. They were master traders, connecting the east and west through bustling trade routes. Picture vibrant markets filled with goods from Persia, Greece, and beyond, where the Scythians exchanged furs, grains, and precious metals. They navigated the rivers and plains, creating a network that would flourish long after their time. Their influence can be felt across civilizations, as they shared not only goods, but ideas, languages, and customs, melding cultures in a way that would forever alter the landscape of Europe. Yet, like all great kingdoms, the Scythians faced challenges that tested their resilience. As empires rose and fell, so too did the fortunes of the Scythians. The encroachment of new powers, such as the Persian Empire and later the expanding might of the Roman legions, threatened their way of life. They fought fiercely to defend their territories, but the tides of history can be unforgiving. As we traverse the ruins of ancient Scythian sites today, we are reminded of their legacy. The remnants of their kurgans stand as silent sentinels, guarding the stories of those who once roamed the steppes. Archaeologists uncover artifacts that hint at their complex beliefs and lifestyles, piecing together a puzzle that is both fascinating and heartbreaking. The Scythians left behind a rich tapestry of culture, one that resonates even in modern times. Their spirit lives on in the folklore of the region, in the songs sung by the winds that sweep across the Crimean landscape. They remind us that history is not just a series of dates and events, it is a living narrative, one that connects us to our past and guides our present. So, as we reflect on the lost kingdoms of the Scythians, let us celebrate their resilience, their artistry, and their indomitable spirit. For in every tale of conquest and survival, there lies a deeper story, one of humanity's quest for identity, belonging, and a place in the world. The Scythians may be lost to time, but their legacy endures, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. In the vast expanse of the steppe, where the horizon stretches infinitely beneath a dome of brilliant blue, the whispers of a people once filled the air. These whispers belong to the nomadic tribes of the Central Asian steppes, a place where the wind carries tales of courage, survival, and identity. But today, the echoes of their lives are fading, like the footprints left in the dust of their ancestral lands. This is the story of their vanishing, a poignant reminder of the fragility of culture and the relentless march of time. As the sun rises over the undulating hills, casting golden hues over the grasses, we journey back to a time when the steppe thrived with vibrant communities. These were people who lived in harmony with the land, drawing strength from the earth beneath their feet and the sky above. They were the horsemen, the shepherds, the storytellers, and the warriors. Their lives were woven into the fabric of the landscape, each blade of grass a witness to their struggles, triumphs, and dreams. Among them was a young girl named Isulu. With her dark, flowing hair and eyes like pools of deep water, Aisulu was the heartbeat of her family. Every morning she would rise before the sun, her bare feet brushing against the cool earth as she ventured into the world of her ancestors. She would help her mother tend to the yurt, the cherished home that had sheltered generations, its felt walls a testament to resilience and warmth. Aisulu's laughter danced on the wind as she played with her brothers, racing the swift stallions that roamed freely. They would gallop across the steppe, their spirits soaring as high as the eagles that circled above. Here, in this timeless expanse, life was not just lived, it was celebrated in every moment. The songs of their ancestors echoed in their hearts, tales of bravery and love that knit their identity together. But as the years passed, the winds of change began to stir. The world outside the steppe encroached upon their lives, bringing with it the stark realities of modernity. The bustling cities offered promises of prosperity and comfort, luring the youth away from their traditional ways. Aisulu, once a vibrant spirit of the steppe, found herself at a crossroads, torn between the pull of her heritage and the allure of a new life beyond the horizon. As the elders gathered under the shade of the sacred tree, their faces etched with the lines of wisdom and sorrow, they spoke of a time when their people were numerous, their laughter filling the air like the songs of larks. They recounted tales of unity, of fierce loyalty to one another, and of a culture rich in traditions. They lamented the loss of the stories, the songs, and the rituals that had defined their existence. With each passing year, the whispers grew fainter, drowned out by the noise of progress. Aisulu watched as friends and family embarked on journeys away from the steppe, their silhouettes fading into the distance. Each departure was a silent farewell, a thread unraveling from the tapestry of their community. The vibrant festivals of the past, filled with dance and music, became distant memories, replaced by the hum of technology and the glow of screens. The steppe, once alive with stories, stood as a silent witness to a slow, painful exodus. Yet, amidst the encroaching shadows, there flickered a dim light of hope. Some chose to resist the tide of change, to honor their heritage and keep the whispers alive. Aisulu, now a young woman, found herself drawn back to the steppe, back to the stories that had shaped her. She gathered the children, their eyes wide with curiosity, and began to share the legends of their people, the tales of the brave warriors, the gentle spirits of the earth, and the bond that tied them to the land. In those moments, the steppe came alive once more. The laughter of children echoed like music, a reminder that the essence of their culture could still bloom even in the face of adversity. Together, they danced under the stars, the night sky a canvas for their dreams. Aisulu understood that while the world may change, the spirit of her people could endure, as long as there were those willing to listen, to remember, and to share. As the seasons turned, the whispers in the steppe grew stronger, intertwining with the winds that swept across the plains. The stories of the past began to weave into the fabric of the present, a delicate tapestry of resilience and hope. In this dance of survival, the essence of a people once thought to be vanishing found new life, a testament to the power of connection and the enduring spirit of humanity. And so, in the heart of the steppe, where the whispers of a people once faded, a new chapter unfolded. It was a story not just of loss but of revival, of the unbreakable bond between a community and its land. Aisulu stood tall, her heart beating in rhythm with the pulse of the steppe, a guardian of the whispers that would echo for generations to come. In this timeless land, the stories would never truly vanish. They would live on, carried by the winds, whispered through the grasses, and celebrated in the hearts of those who dared to remember. In the vast, undulating steppes of Central Asia, where the horizon stretches endlessly and the wind whispers tales of ancient times, lies a treasure trove of secrets waiting to be unearthed. These secrets are buried beneath the earth, entombed within the mysterious mounds known as kurgans. To the untrained eye, they may appear as mere hills, but to archaeologists and historians, they are gateways to a world long forgotten, a world rich with culture, power, and an artistry that defies time. As we embark on this journey into the heart of the kurgans, imagine the scene before us, the sun dipping low, casting a golden hue over the landscape, as nomadic tribes once roamed these very lands. Among them were the Scythians, a fierce people known for their horsemanship and warrior spirit. They carved their existence into the annals of history, leaving behind these monumental burial mounds, each a testament to their beliefs and way of life. The kurgans, often rising majestically from the earth, served as the final resting place for elite members of society. Within their earthy embrace, treasures and artifacts were interred, meant to accompany the deceased into the afterlife. As we dig deeper into these mounds, we find not just bones and relics, but the very essence of a civilization, its art, its struggles, and its triumphs. One of the most captivating aspects of kurgan archaeology lies in the artifacts discovered within. Gold jewelry, intricate weapons, and beautifully crafted pottery have emerged from the depths of these ancient tombs. Each item is a story unto itself, revealing the artistry and craftsmanship of a people who understood the importance of beauty and function. The glint of gold, the shimmer of silver, these were not mere possessions. They were symbols of status, power, and divine favor. But what drives the exploration of these ancient burial sites? It is the allure of the unknown, the insatiable curiosity that compels archaeologists to uncover the past. As they meticulously excavate each layer of soil, they engage in a dance with history, piecing together the narratives that have been concealed for millennia. With every shovel of earth removed, the echoes of the past grow louder, urging us to listen and learn. In our pursuit of knowledge, we encounter the challenges faced by those who tread this path. The kurgans are not merely archaeological sites, they are sacred spaces, imbued with the spiritual significance of the cultures that created them. The delicate balance between excavation and preservation becomes a central theme in our narrative. How do we honor the dead while seeking to understand their lives? This question reverberates through the halls of archaeological discourse and shapes the future of our endeavors. As we delve deeper, we discover that the kurgans are not isolated phenomena. They are part of a larger tapestry that weaves together the stories of various peoples across the steppes. From the Sarmatians to the Mongols, each culture left its mark, contributing to a rich and complex heritage. The interconnectedness of these groups reveals the fluidity of cultural exchange, challenging the notion of rigid boundaries and highlighting the shared human experience. Imagine the day when a new kurgan is discovered, hidden beneath layers of earth and time. The excitement is palpable as archaeologists gather, each one feeling the weight of history on their shoulders. With hushed anticipation, they begin the excavation, brushing away centuries of soil, revealing artifacts that have remained untouched for generations. What tales will these relics tell? What mysteries will they unravel? As we witness the unveiling of these golden secrets, we are reminded of our own place in the continuum of time. The kurgans are not just remnants of a bygone era. They are a reflection of our shared humanity, a reminder that we are all connected through the stories we tell and the legacies we leave behind. In the embrace of the earth, the spirits of the past linger, inviting us to ponder our own existence and the mark we will leave on the world. In the end, the archaeology of the kurgans transcends the mere act of digging. It is a quest for understanding, a journey into the depths of history that sheds light on who we are today. As we walk away from these ancient mounds, we carry with us not just the artifacts of the past, but the wisdom and insights they impart. The golden secrets of the kurgans remind us that history is not a distant memory. It is alive, breathing, and waiting to be discovered. And so, our story continues, intertwined with the echoes of those who came before us, as we seek to understand the rich tapestry of our shared human experience. In the vast, undulating expanses of the Eurasian steppes, where the horizon blurs into the embrace of the sky, a tale unfolds, a tale of a people whose legacy would echo through the ages. Welcome to the world of the Scythians, a nomadic warrior culture that rose to prominence over 2 millennia ago, leaving an indelible mark on history and shaping the very contours of empires. Picture this. The sun rises over the grassy plains, casting a golden hue over the landscape. Here, the Scythians roamed, their silhouettes cutting through the dawn as they rode upon sturdy horses, their presence both formidable and enchanting. These were not mere tribesmen. They were fierce warriors, skilled archers, and master horsemen, navigating the land with an ease that spoke of generations steeped in the rhythms of nature. The Scythians are often depicted as the archetypal nomads, moving with the seasons, following herds of deer and horses across the steppe. Their society was intricately woven into the fabric of the land. They lived in felt tents, called yurts, which could be assembled or disassembled with remarkable speed, a testament to their mobile lifestyle. The heart of their culture beat to the sounds of the wind and the whispers of the earth, their spirits intertwined with the land they called home. But the Scythians were more than mere wanderers. They were artisans and traders, connecting east and west long before the Silk Road would become a bustling artery of commerce. Their exquisite metalwork, adorned with intricate designs of animals and mythical creatures, revealed a deep reverence for the natural world. Gold, silver, and bronze transformed in their skilled hands into objects of beauty that would be coveted by kings and chieftains alike. As we delve deeper into the Scythian legacy, we encounter their encounters with the great empires of the time. To the west, the Greeks marveled at these enigmatic horsemen, their stories often embellished in myth and legend. The Scythians, in turn, were intrigued by the wealth and culture of the settled peoples. This exchange, however limited, would sow the seeds of influence that would ripple through history. The Scythians were not merely a static entity. They evolved, adapted, and even embraced aspects of the cultures they came into contact with. The art of warfare, for instance, became a canvas for their creativity. They perfected the art of mounted archery, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. As they clashed with the Persian Empire, their reputation as fierce warriors was solidified. The tale of their battles is not just one of bloodshed, but of strategy, cunning, and an unyielding spirit that defied the might of armies. Yet, the Scythian legacy is not solely defined by conquest. It is also a story of resilience and transformation. As the winds of time shifted and the powerful empires rose and fell, the Scythians adapted once more. Some settled down, integrating with the civilizations around them, while others continued their nomadic ways, carrying their traditions into the unknown. As we explore the remnants of their existence today, burial mounds, known as kurgans, dotting the landscape like silent sentinels, we uncover a rich tapestry of beliefs and practices. The Scythians revered their ancestors, burying them with great care, surrounding them with treasures for the afterlife. These mounds, often filled with gold and artifacts, whisper stories of a people who understood the profound connection between life and death. In our journey through the annals of history, we find that the Scythians have left us more than artifacts and tales of battle. Their legacy is woven into the very fabric of the cultures that emerged after them. The nomadic spirit they embodied has resonated through time, influencing the Mongols, the Huns, and even the very essence of what it means to be a wanderer. As we conclude this exploration of the Scythian legacy, we are reminded that history is not merely a chronicle of dates and events. It is a living narrative, a tapestry woven from the threads of human experience. The Scythians, those fierce, free-spirited horsemen of the steppe, have not been forgotten. They live on in our collective consciousness, a reminder of the power of adaptability, the strength of community, and the everlasting quest for identity in a world ever in motion. So, as the sun sets over those endless plains, casting long shadows that dance in the twilight, we honor the Scythians, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, a legacy that stretches from the steppe to the very heart of empires. In the vast tapestry of human history, there exists a thread that binds us all: memory. It is a powerful force, shaping our identities, our cultures, and our very existence. Among the rolling steppes of Russia and the sun-drenched deserts of Central Asia, a unique narrative unfolds, a tale of nomads whose lives are woven with echoes of their ancestors. As we embark on this journey, let us first picture the expansive landscapes that cradle these nomadic communities. Imagine the endless grasslands of the Russian steppes, where the horizon stretches infinitely, kissed by the soft glow of dawn. Here, the wind whispers tales of the past, carrying with it the laughter of children, the songs of elders, and the stories of those who roamed before them. These are the nomads of memory, keepers of a rich oral tradition that transcends the boundaries of time and space. In the heart of Central Asia, we find the Kazakh and Kyrgyz herders, their yurt homes dotting the landscape like mushrooms after the rain. With their horses galloping freely across the plains, they embody a spirit of freedom and resilience. Their lives are cyclical, mirroring the seasons, and so too are their stories. Every spring, as the grass awakens, they gather around the warmth of the fire, sharing tales passed down through generations. Each story is a thread that connects them to their ancestors, a reminder of where they came from and who they are. Among these stories, we find the legend of the great warrior, Alpamis, a name that resonates with pride and courage. His adventures, filled with triumphs and trials, serve not only as entertainment, but as moral compasses for the young. Through Alpamis, they learn about honor, loyalty, and the importance of family. The nomads do not just recount tales, they breathe life into them, allowing the past to shape their present and guide their future. As we traverse deeper into Russian lore, we encounter the enigmatic figure of the bard, known as the Scythian. With a voice that can stir the deepest of emotions, the Scythian weaves intricate narratives that blend history with mythology. As he stands before a flickering fire, his audience captivated, the lines between reality and imagination blur. Tales of brave knights, mythical creatures, and the struggles of the common folk come alive, echoing the collective memory of a people who have weathered storms of change. In these communities, memory is not merely a passive recollection, it is an active force. It shapes their identity and fortifies their sense of belonging. Every tale told, every song sung, reinforces the bonds that tie them to their land and to one another. The nomads understand that in a world that is ever-changing, it is their stories that anchor them, reminding them of their roots and the paths they tread. Yet the nomads of memory face a modern challenge. As the world pushes towards urbanization, their traditions risk fading into obscurity. The once vibrant gatherings around the fire are now replaced with the hum of technology. But even in this new landscape, the spirit of storytelling endures. Young voices, armed with smartphones, are finding ways to blend the ancient with the modern, ensuring that the echoes of their ancestors reverberate into the future. Through social media, they share snippets of their lives, their traditions, and their stories, creating a bridge between past and present. The tales of Alpamis, the songs of the Scythian, and the wisdom of their elders are no longer confined to the steppes. They traverse the globe, touching hearts and inspiring minds far beyond their homeland. In this blend of old and new, we witness a remarkable transformation. The nomads of memory are not merely preserving their heritage, they are redefining it. They remind us that memory is alive, a living entity that adapts and evolves, much like the people it represents. The echoes of their stories continue to resonate, reminding us of the beauty of our shared humanity. As we conclude our journey through the lore of Russian and Central Asian nomads, we are left with a profound understanding of the power of memory. It is a gift passed down through generations, a treasure trove of wisdom, laughter, and love. In every story shared, we find a piece of ourselves, a reminder that no matter where we come from, we are all connected by the threads of our memories. So, as you venture forth into your own life, carry with you the stories of those who came before you. Embrace the echo of their voices, and let them guide you. For in the end, we are all nomads of memory, wandering through the vast landscape of existence, forever searching for our place in the tapestry of time. In the heart of the vast Eurasian steppes, where the winds whisper tales of ancient civilizations, there lies a myth that has endured through the ages. A myth woven with threads of gold, fire, and the fierce spirit of a people known as the Scythians. Their legacy, though veiled in the mists of time, continues to captivate the imagination, igniting a flame that refuses to be extinguished. Imagine a time over 2 millennia ago, when the sun rose over rolling grasslands that stretched as far as the eye could see. Here, amidst the wild beauty of nature, lived the Scythians, nomadic warriors, skilled horsemen, and master artisans. They roamed the plains in search of pasture for their herds, but they were more than just wanderers. They were keepers of a profound culture, a society steeped in rituals that celebrated life, death, and the mysteries of the universe. The Scythians were renowned for their craftsmanship, particularly in gold, a metal that seemed to capture the very essence of their lives. From intricate jewelry that adorned their bodies to magnificent gold artifacts buried with their chieftains, their artistry reflected not just wealth, but the belief in an eternal life beyond the grave. The golden items they fashioned shimmered like sunlight dancing on the surface of a river, and each piece told a story of bravery, beauty, and the sacred bond between the living and the dead. But it was not just gold that defined the Scythians. It was fire that truly embodied their spirit. The flames of their hearths brought warmth, nourishment, and a sense of community. They gathered around the fire, sharing tales of valor and the ancestral spirits that guided them. Fire was a symbol of transformation, a force that purified and connected them to the cosmos. In their rituals, the Scythians honored the flames, believing that through fire they could communicate with the divine. As we delve deeper into their world, we encounter the legendary Scythian warriors, fearless, proud, and unmatched in battle. Clad in leather and fur, they rode with an intensity that made the earth tremble beneath their steeds. Their reputation as fierce fighters spread far and wide, earning them both respect and fear from neighboring tribes and empires. The stories of their bravery echoed across the steppes, tales of ambushes, raids, and the relentless pursuit of glory. Yet, the Scythians were not merely warriors. They were also keen observers of nature, deeply attuned to the rhythms of the earth. Their nomadic lifestyle instilled in them a profound respect for the land, a belief that every mountain, river, and blade of grass held significance. This connection to nature was reflected in their art, where motifs of animals, lions, wolves, and deer, symbolized strength, cunning, and grace. These creatures were not simply representations, they were totems that embodied the characteristics the Scythians admired and aspired to. As the centuries rolled on, the Scythians' influence spread across the vast expanse of the steppes, intertwining with the cultures they encountered. They engaged in trade, exchanging not only goods but ideas, merging their beliefs with those of others. Yet, despite the ebb and flow of empires, their essence remained intact, a powerful spirit that transcended time. But, as all stories do, this one faced its trials. The rise of mighty empires, such as the Persians and later the Romans, threatened the very existence of the Scythians. The relentless march of history sought to erase their identity, to diminish the flames of their legacy. Yet, even in the face of conquest and change, the Scythians adapted, blending their traditions with those of their conquerors, ensuring that their myth would endure. In the modern world, the allure of the Scythians persists. Archaeological discoveries continue to unearth their treasures, revealing secrets long buried beneath the earth. Gold artifacts glisten in museums, while the stories of their fierce warriors inspire novels, films, and a renewed interest in their culture. The Scythians, once relegated to the pages of history, now rise again, their legend igniting the imagination of new generations. As we reflect on their story, we realize that the myth of the Scythians is not just about the past. It resonates within us today. It speaks of resilience, the importance of connection to our roots, and the enduring power of fire and gold. Their spirit lives on, a reminder that within each of us lies a warrior, a seeker of truth, and a creator capable of forging beauty from the chaos of life. And so, as the sun sets over the steppes once more, casting long shadows over the land, we honor the Scythians, their myth an eternal flame, flickering brightly in the hearts of those who dare to dream. Their story, woven into the very fabric of history, reminds us that though time may pass and empires may fall, the essence of a people can never truly be extinguished. The Scythians, bold and unyielding, live on in our collective consciousness, a testament to the power of myth and the enduring spirit of humanity.